So, last time, the party was figuring out the inner workings of the Amber Temple pretty well. And they had just walked into the treasury room and encountered a large golem standing at the end of the room. But turns out that was not their adversary in the room, and it was instead the treasure itself, which formed into a large swarm and whirlwind and attacked the party. They survived, plundered what they could out of the remains of the treasure, and then advanced through a crevice into the room further beyond that had more amber sarcophagi in it. The party, Osgood in particular, got attracted to one of the statues, and Gaynor got attracted to a different statue. Osgood was communing with the corpse star Zudun, who reached out, but Osgood refused the gift, offering the gift to Casimir instead. The Dark Power then instructed Casimir to slay Osgood in order to get the power. The party promptly dealt with Casimir, but not before he took another Dark Power and summoned a number of vampire spawn from their resting place in this chamber. After the party dispatched of everything, Gaynor accepted another pact with a Dark Power, which gave him the recipe on how to potentially become a lich. They pilfered the book of Tome of Strahd off of Casimir's body, and you all regrouped and exited the Amber Temple, making your way back to the monastery that Rohan had found down the mountain. And you all began, as you arrive at the monastery, to plan your next move. Oh, fun side note. Trovik also accepted a power while at this temple, just for everybody's recap. And Trovik has a massive shield guardian that has been following the group all the way down to the monastery. So, that is where we begin our journey, is in the stone monastery of the Order of the Guardian.
Okay.
Rohan kind of walking in the front, opening the door and leading the way in, with the rest of you following, and the shield guardian waiting outside.
So, once we're in here, I walk up to Trovik, and I go, I need a favor. Okay.
You jump on Trovik.
I drop myself on Trovik. I pull out an empty coin purse, and I throw in 3 diamonds, and I say, I need you to hit this as hard as you can.
Okay.
Okay.
I need diamond dust bad.
Wow.
There's one problem with that.
What's that?
I only have sharp weapons.
You have an axe. Use the blunt side of the axe.
It's the
It's-
best
You want me
one.
to-
It's too
You want me
Two sharp sides of an axe.
sides.
You want me to swing the flat side of my axe to crush this?
I mean, unless you have a better idea.
What? Do you expect to use it like a boat paddle?
We could put it up
Can I
on a
see-
pedestal.
Can I see any rocks nearby?
In this stone abbey, there are no loose rocks per se, no.
Well,
What if we just use a bench?
what?
I mean,
Wood?
there are benches. They're heavy
You
pews, but they're benches.
Use a bench over diamonds to smash diamonds.
That's a good point. I swear to God, the longer I spend in these mountains, the longer I go senile. Christ.
Isn't it like 1 a.m. as well?
Yeah, it's some absurd time
totally
in the
is.
morning.
Yeah,
It's 1
yeah.
a.m.
Fuck.
Y'all are tired and y'all are here and you're
Osgood's like sleep
doing
deprived.
this whole jank.
Alright. Trovik
As
is
Rohan's
going
just
to...
kind of like checking out the monastery itself, making sure everything's in order and nothing's out of place. He kind of goes off into the back for a moment and disappears.
Trovik's gonna put the bag of diamonds on the ground, kneel down, and attempt to punch the diamonds.
Okay.
Kelma sits on one of the broken benches, looking at this amusement.
Make an honor strike for me.
I bet's on the diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a little research.
How hard can a
No.
Minotaur punch a
Well,
diamond?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
that's it.
question. Huh.
I'm sorry, but that diamond is
Surprisingly
now
less of an.
inflated.
Yeah, I was about to say surprisingly less of an AC than you'd think. So Trovik kind of sits down on his knees in the bag on the floor in front of him and begins just punching away. 1 punch, 2 punch, 3, 4, and then stops and kind of looks down at the bag, and the lumps that was a diamond is no longer there.
Yes.
Oh Christ!
You
I
just
pick
hear,
it
you just
in
hear
the bag.
clapping. You just hear clapping from the back.
I flick a gold to fucking what's his name, DB.
And as you pick the bag up and look inside of it, it's not a fine dust, but it's definitely not a whole diamond anymore. It's dusty. There's still whole chunks of bits of diamond in it, but it's diamond dust for the most part. Yeah.
It's diamond gravel.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yeah, I was about to say that's probably about accurate. Diamond
got
gravel
diamond- you
sounds
got
right.
diamond
It's not
pebbles.
fine by any means. It's a minotaur who just punched the shit out of a diamond on a stone floor. But I mean, it's dust. You have a little bit of diamond dust. Probably the whole diamond's worth of diamond dust. What do you need?
I mean, so I am going to use this diamond gravel, at least a portion of it, and I'm gonna cast Greater Restoration on myself.
How much cost worth of diamond gravel does it?
100 gold pieces.
Okay, and how much diamond did you put down?
So there was 3 diamonds, and they're worth
3 diamonds.
150 a piece, I think.
Okay,
Right?
okay. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure. I got you. Okay.
And I do this to remove the curse on me.
Okay. As you cast your restoration spell, it takes you a moment, and then suddenly you don't feel as thirsty for power. Like, you still want power. That's your goal. That's always been your goal. It's who
Right.
Gaynor is, but it's not this driving, pushing force in the back of your head anymore. And you feel like you've done what you set out to do, and your curse is lifted.
Woohoo!
I assume that was the
Yeah.
curse, yes?
Yes,
No
that
one
was the
can-
curse. Yeah. That's the only curse on me. So I'm gonna
Well,
target a curse.
it's-
That's what's gonna come off.
More power was the other one, but it's more powers, all the more powers. It's just not as direct. It's like you want to be powerful, you don't want more power per se.
Right, I won't do it in harm of myself. Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's more of a like you want to know all the secrets of all the magic of all the worlds. Not threaten my life for more power type shit. But yes, you get rid of the curse that's on you. Is there anything
Right.
else anybody would like to do at 1 a.m. in the Abbey?
How much alcohol is there? Kidding.
In the Abbey? Probably very little.
Very little, yeah. I guess this is a
You
good point.
say that.
I steal sacrificial wine from.
I say that for the one guy living in a stone abbey that's been abandoned for 10 years. Yes, I say that.
Might be a wine cellar from when there were loads of monks
Who the
here.
hell knows?
You can always go searching for a wine cellar if you're feeling froggy.
Calmo just walks past everybody to go to the next room, and he's
Mhm.
just like, "I'm tired. I'm beat up. You're all idiots. I'm going to bed."
I mean, we slept like 3 hours ago.
That's true.
That's very true.
Wait, we slept? I thought we had.
Yeah, we took a
We
long rest.
took a long rest.
Yeah,
That's
we
why it's
slept.
1 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
y'all
mean-
just finished the temple at like 1 a.m. Yeah.
It wouldn't
Like,
wouldn't
fuck it, let's
hurt
go
to,
to the monastery and get the hell out of here, and that was the play.
it wouldn't hurt to
I
just
know it's
chill
been a
out.
couple weeks,
Mm.
but that's where we were at. It's like y'all took a
Yeah.
long rest, y'all did a bunch of boss fights, you
Yeah.
got out, and then you're
I,
coming
st-
back
I,
here
I
to
still
like
I
chill.
just still remember all the short rests we took.
Oh, it was like 4. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was a lot of short rests.
Yeah, I mean, of 12 hours in the day, we probably spent 6 of them sleeping.
And the other 6 getting your asses handed to you. It was a great
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it was great.
Anyway,
What a day.
back to the plot.
There's a plot.
Let's do one of those.
I-
What do they call them? Skyrim weights.
We just light a cigarette and people sing in the background, and then days pass rapidly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in the same room as Kelma.
Okay, this is an
I'm
open
not.
area with a tree in the center of the room. You'll have been
Correct.
here
I'm
once
going over
before for a
here.
I'll
ritual
just sit
thing.
down.
Can my shield guardian fit
before
in
we
here?
all
Your shield guardian can fit in here. It
Oh.
can walk through the door. It was just standing outside to be polite.
Well, what?
You asked it to stay outside in the other room. It just feels like it needs to stay outside of rooms unless it's told it can come in.
He's gonna block the wind for me right here. There we go.
Okay. And it's not as cold. You are in the mountains. There is snow everywhere, but it's not as cold. Kelma, Gaynor, you're
Osgood
in
just
the
looks
center.
disappointed.
Osgood's disappointed.
Sorry, back then.
Fair. Kelma, Gaynor, you're in the center room by this tree and this seeming shrine of sorts.
I sit down on the grass and I just look over to Gaynor and go, "What did you just do?"
I removed a curse on myself.
You see Helma's eyes kind of shrink. He goes, "What curse?"
I pull out the staff of the frost, and I kind of just go and I like put it out in front of me, and I'm like, when I touch this, I all of a sudden wanted power, and regardless of what it would do to me.
See, almost kind of like Helma stand up for a second, and he looks towards the staff for a bit, and he's like, "That's not what you want, right? Still want, right?"
Well, I still want power. I just don't want my face to look like the old man's. If you remember, Osgood has he's stroked on one side.
Have his face is
He's got
stroked
a
out. Yes.
stroke.
All I gotta do is fire off 3 lightning bolts. Apparently, we've read up on the rules of that.
Yep.
Yeah. I just look at it and I look over it, and Gaynor, I'm just like, keep in mind, power that you take. I've seen things go real bad for people who want to go. I've known you enough here, even in this short time, to consider you a friend. But if you take it too far, I will step in. I'm glad you took that curse off.
If it's a power that I want, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna take it, regardless of what you want or think. It doesn't matter to me what you want or feel towards me.
Emma just kind of looks down on the ground. He just said what I said. Kind of sits. Starts looking at the tree.
Confusingly looks at him. I reach into my backpack and I pull out the forest rune that I have.
Okay.
And I kind of examine it.
All right. So as you're examining that, Osgood is going to find a wine cellar, which Osgood will eventually search every room and find, because that's what Osgood's doing.
Where the fuck do they keep their wine?
As he continues to search, he will later find that there is no wine cellar in this building.
And Campbell just points at Osgood. Campbell just
Oh.
points at Osgood and goes, "Don't become that, please."
Yeah, he's
He
just
says to
wandering
Gaynor.
around as you
Uh,
do this with the stone and the thing. Yep. Okay.
I just want to have a conversation, man, and I don't want to do it without some kind of inebriation.
So, and I think I may have read the wrong one last time, but we're doing this correct this time. So, the runestone in your hand, as you kind of take a look at it, Gaynor, the glyph side glows a bright, radiant green. And then as you kind of take a look at the stone and flip it over on the other side, you see the words begin to appear and scrawl themselves on the blank side, on the back side. And it reads, the huntress no longer here stalks her prey to return her power from the fiend. A mighty predator you must slay upon her fane, skinned and cleaned. And it seems to be referring to some sort of a ritual to complete this item, or to break some hold, or to break a seal, or something. As you stand here in this glaive with the shrine, it doesn't glow any brighter, any differently. Just the same words, the same text.
I toss it to Kalma and ask him if that means anything to him.
Does it? Stuff.
The hunter stuff kind of rings a bell based on being part of the Fanes. As you kind of look at the stone itself, you don't gather anything more or different from it. You feel it's got like a similar magical property, like the gross in the edition that you had, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
But you're not sure beyond that. Like, it doesn't like trigger anything for you as you touch the stone. No. But it does stop glowing as it flies through the air before it lands in your hand.
It stops glowing?
Yes, like, and as soon as it leaves Gaenor's hand, the green light stops glowing and the rune stops glowing, and then when you catch it, it lights back up again.
I just examined it. Oh. How about this huntress thing? Some group of sisters, I guess, who keep talking to me. But other than that, I have no idea. Other than the stone just glows. I toss it at the tree. I'm like, I don't know. Something about forest, and I throw it at the tree thinking it might do anything.
Hits the tree, rolls down the side. Drake, hit it.
I just kind of look at Gaynor and I'm just like, yeah, it was something about forest. It was worth a shot. Threw it at the big old tree.
I just pick it back up. I'm like, thanks. Well, it looks a lot like the stone from the winery that got stolen.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely wasn't with a druid, so it had to have come from somewhere.
Yeah. Strange. I don't know.
And we could probably take it back there and find out more about it.
Perhaps. Kama stands up because I wonder if my master knows. He's been in this temple for a while. And you know, the monks here aren't like my master and I. They seem to almost protect that temple, and it's very strange. Like, these monks, let's put it this way, I don't feel we're looking out for the best interest of things, if that makes sense.
Okay. I hand it to him. I'm like, if you think you know something, feel free to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll best. There's a couple things I want to discuss with Master, but first I want to make sure he's healed. He is not as sturdy as he once was. So in that hard place.
Right.
So, as you guys are having this conversation in the, we'll say, altar area, I guess is probably the best way, the shrine area. As you guys are having this conversation, Osgood has been traipsing all around the building trying to find this wine cellar that does not exist. He finally makes it back to the main chamber and is just wandering around restless as Esmeralda kind of looks over in his direction and kind of shouts at him. You don't ever stop, do you?
Not particularly.
Jesus. She kind of looks over at Bram and she's like, well, I'm going across the way. I'm going to turn in. I'm not dealing with that all night. She kind of looks over in Osgood's direction.
I just give a shrug and go back to sitting comfortably on my bench.
Maybe if I take out this pickaxe.
And she kind of walks through the room and sees the two of you talking. Kind of gonna come past and just be like, guess there's no point in going out this late at night tonight. I might as well set out in the morning.
Agreed.
Yeah. If anything, we don't know what comes out at night. Might be a bad time if you try to go. Plus, we came here during the day. Everything was.
Rather if we have to
Kinda-
fight anything during the day, anyways.
She kind of looks over at you all and just, what's that? Kind of notices the stone in your hand.
A rune stone of some sort.
Hmm.
Would you know anything about it?
Kind of looks at you for a second. She's like, I mean, I know a little bit of something about everything. To be able to find information on things. Could try. It's the worst that could happen. Kind of looks over at you and she's like, divination. She kind of like throws her hands out as like kind of like a well. Come on, like you know,
I mean, I don't
Try-
have it. Jelma has it.
Oh, I thought you picked it up because I threw it at the tree.
No, I gave it to you to go talk to your master.
Oh, okay.
Conversation.
I get the stone and I show it to her.
She kind of looks at it. Mm.
Do you know what the huntress is? That thing talks to me.
She kind of looks at you. She's like, the huntress talks to you.
Yeah, and I
You're-
look up. I look
You're
over.
a strange case. You know that?
Don't care. And he looks over. Like, you know, and he's just like, yeah, this huntress and her sister talks to me and says I'm a champion or some nonsense. I don't trust them, but that's why I did that spell thing. But I don't want to use that power. Honestly, it's useless to me.
She kind of just looks you over. She's like, that's just. That sounds like you have a complex problem on your hands. She kind of looks at the stone again and she's just like, let me see what I can do with it. She like holds it in her hand and you see the very familiar casting of an identify spell happen on this stone. She kind of looks it over and she's like, but that doesn't explain how, what, or why. She just kind of looks it over once again and she's just baffled by it. She's like, "Wait, if we could find out a little bit more about these, I could probably use my fate stick and figure out what the hell. Clearly they're a set. I could at least try and find out where the rest of them are. What
Most
the hell
likely
they're
the
for,
druids have them.
God only knows. She said, kind of looks at you. She's like, the druids, those same ones that fucked Kresk over. Really?
Probably, yeah. I mean, they took one from a winery.
From the background, you would sort of hear me yell, "You have a fate stick?"
Decked she.
Oh,
I mean, I got a fate stick for you.
Oh my God. She just kind of looks you over and she's like, I mean, I can give it a whirl in the morning, but it wouldn't do any good tonight. Just kind of looks at her. She's like, probably wouldn't do any good in the morning unless we know what they're for.
Well, I knew it gave the wineries, like, fields life,
So
much like this
crazy
tree.
powerful magic. And she kind of looks over the tree and she's like, "Yeah, sounds about accurate for Barovia." Hmm.
Kelma's like, well, since this is something about that thing of the sisters talking to me, maybe I should hold on to this. for a
She kind of
second.
looks at you and has it in her hand and kind of softball chucks it back in your direction. She's like, "Yep, absolutely. Here you go." Throws it your way and begins to walk off towards wherever she believes there are rooms. She also does not know the layout of this monastery at all. And she seems to be going off into the direction off to the west. And she kind of like tosses you the runestone without even looking to see if you catch it, just kind of like nods off. And,
Next roll,
all right, well,
next roll to catch.
y'all have a good night.
Yeah.
You too.
She just
Well,
kind of like stammers off.
I look over at Gainar and go, "Oh, let me show this to my master. He's been in this temple long enough. Maybe he read books that explain some of this, or at least has some idea."
All right, sounds good. I'll be here, and and Gaynor just leans up against the tree, sits down, and wraps himself in his cape.
Walk up to my master.
Yep. As you do with the stone, and you do the thing. He just kind of looks you over. He mentions that he hasn't heard anything specifically about this runestone or runestones. He's heard fairy tales of creatures in this realm called the Fanes, mostly in children's books and things like that he's found in the libraries around the area. Rohan does mention to you that there is a library in this temple, in this abbey, or I'm sorry, not abbey, this monastery. But he hasn't had the time to look at nearly half the books. A lot of the text and script here is about ancient powers and gods and dark omens and things like that. There's a lot of different text, if you will.
I ask him where the library is.
And he just kind of points you to it. It's in the back. It's here.
Area?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the purposes of things.
I just bow and kind of go over to Gainar and kind of mention the library over there. And
Mm-hmm.
well, that seems like your territory.
I just begrudgingly get up, and I guess I head over there. Over here?
Here. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, this area. Yep.
I'll just
And-
start looking through the
Yeah,
scrolls.
so
and
you
stuff.
walk into an unlocked library that Osgood had recently pressed into, looking for something that he didn't find. As you get in here, it's just walls coated with books. Most books don't have labels on the spines. It's just volumes upon volumes and tomes of things. A lot of old, wrinkled up, dilapidated, decaying scrolls almost kind of cover the tables. And there's just everything in here. I'd say both of you make me an investigation check.
Sure.
Ooh, that's a 7 plus. That's 16. Okay. So looking around, sorry, here we go. So looking for about 20 or so minutes as the night continues on into 2 in the morning territory. You find a section of books that all seem to be lore related around rituals that have taken place, festivals, things like that in Barovia. Seasonal festivals, ceremonial rituals, etc., etc. After plundering through some other books, and not really finding much, you come to one tome that seems to describe in great detail all three of the Fanes of Barovia, the old gods, the old guardians, the hunter, the seeker, and the weaver. It explains how they were protectors of the land, worshipped by the people of old Barovia before Strahd came to the land, before he came to power. The huntress was worshipped for blessed hunts, plentiful bounties, and prosperous gain. The weaver was praised and blessed for the harmony with nature that the Barovians tried to possess and be a part of. And the seeker was the holder of all of the knowledge in Barovia. Anybody who needed to find something prayed to the seeker for that knowledge or for that inspiration. It was very, very old and parsed lore. You find another dusty tome that just kind of outlays what happened to the old gods, how they stopped being worshipped, how they've fallen off, how they've disappeared into the land themselves. Another hypocritical text comes upon the fact that they were just regular people. They weren't anything special. They weren't gods in any form or deities. They were just persons. It's an entire text just about the theoretical BS of Barovia. Nothing concrete, nothing superbly evident, but information on the Fanes in and of their own right.
I point out to Gaynor that, because I mentioned that I'm getting spoken to, and I point out, because I've spoken to the Seeker and the Hunter, right?
The Weaver and the Hunter, I believe. No, sorry, the Seeker and the Huntress. You're right, Seeker
Okay,
and the
'cause I
Huntress.
haven't spoken to the Weaver yet, so.
Right. You're right. I'm sorry. That was my bad. Good.
So I just mentioned that I've spoken to the Seeker and the Hunter, and also I kind of mentioned that I believe they're trying to trap me here.
What use would they have to trap you?
I don't know. When I spoke to the Huntress one, he kept on stepping aside. You know me well enough that if I don't feel like someone's telling me the truth, I'll keep on pushing the subject until they tell me or they walk away. I don't care if you're a god or not. And basically got one of them to admit that if I gain all their power, I might be able to help them, but I may not be able to go home.
Well, we're already trapped here. So what they're probably looking for is like a representation of their power be connected to this would be my guess. Not
Maybe.
necessarily trap, more or less.
But if we
Recruit.
do find a way out, I may not be able to go if I take all 3 powers.
It's true. That's what they said.
I'm not a druid. Just a guy who likes to fight. I don't like harming nature, but I'm not one. I'm not like those ones that we fought in the brewery. They rubbed me the wrong.
Alright, well. Not sure what we really got out of this, but
I feel like the other guy.
something we already knew, but maybe if we get these stones together, we can release them and they won't need you.
I mean, that one thing I did helped us a little. Maybe it'll come in handy later on.
True.
Either way, let's move on. Let's move on from here. At least we have some knowledge, but I'm sure there's more to this than what we see here.
I agree. And Gaynor just walks out and once again leans up against the tree. just sits down.
I just kind of hang out by my master and kind of sit down and hear small talk.
Mhm. Mhm. As you're sitting by the tree, you hear a voice in your head. Well, that was a day.
I mean, felt like multiple days.
You know, I was getting a little worried about you there.
I think there's others in this party that you need to worry about more than me.
I don't know, you being more power hungry than you already are. Dangerous game, my friend.
Well, I already got you in my head. Could always use more in the party itself.
I mean, not that I wouldn't mind the company, but just keep me up here for now, okay? Let's do that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Voice kind of fades away. Alright. So, if anybody else doing anything else? Or
I want to try and talk to Branwen.
Oh, okay.
she's sitting right there.
Yeah. I sort of wander over, and I guess like he looks pretty flustered. He's looking around like, God damn it, there's nobody else around. I need to do this in the morning. But there's gonna be like a pause as he sort of glances over at you. He's gonna say essentially, this morning, can you get everybody together? I want to have a chat about our old friend Strahd.
I mean, sure, if everyone's not already up. I was planning on going for a walk in the morning, but sure.
I just think I'd like to discuss that perhaps he isn't as bad as we initially assumed. And he sort of looks almost chagrined at that, a little bit embarrassed, but sort of there's a determination there that you might not necessarily see in him very often. And he sort of nods once and says, tomorrow, if at all possible, after you're done with whatever you're doing. And he sort of wanders off and curls up in a corner.
Cool. Shrugs and carries on reclining on the freaking thing,
Alright.
waiting for dawn.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, you all in your respective areas and ways kind of relax and take this time. Come on, you have a conversation back and forth with Rohan. He seems like he's glad to be out of that temple. He also seems like he's got a lot on his mind. Kind of looks you up and down, and close to the end of the night when you're about to go your separate ways and rest for the evening, he kind of looks you up and down and just says, Kelma, I won't be able to. I don't think it's a good idea for me to come with you and your group at the moment.
Why not, Master? You come down the mountain, go into the town.
I feel like hiding up here was done for a reason. There were too many eyes and ears that followed, down there. So the other thing is I'm. Well, you saw how much help I was in the temple. Wouldn't want to hold y'all back. And looks over and just. It pains me to say this, but I think we can both pretty much tell that you're on a completely different level. The gap between us has gotten so wide.
Master. And I put my hand on his shoulder and go, he taught me everything. Yes, I could tell that you're injured. And I could tell that you've been through a lot. I've only been here a short period of time, and you've had to struggle these last few years by yourself. But also, I know you well enough. You're not one to hide. I want to see you join us again. Doesn't mean you have to join us in the party, Master.
You
I
kind of
don't
look.
want to. I don't want to see you hide in here. And I look around this place. I go, you don't deserve this.
He kind of reaches out, puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, "No, I will be with you when you have need. When the time comes, I will join you. But I feel like I owe it to the old monks of this temple, that somebody needs to keep an eye on that place. It's not much. And granted, it's true I can't deal with half the stuff that comes out of that place, but somebody has to try."
How will you survive? Barely survived as is.
And he looks you over. He's just like, "There's." This old man's got a few tricks left.
I take a step back. I kind of go on my knees, and I just kind of go into like a very deep bow. I mean, and I just say, "Go, Master. Regardless of what happens through here, regardless of how you view me, my abilities, if you ever need me, I will come. You are my family. You are my father. You are my hero. You are my rescuer. I will come back for you, or you come see me. Train. You're more than capable, Master."
Kind of looks at you, and a smirk kind of comes across his face as he bows and nods to you, and then kind of like raises you up as he comes up from his bow as well, and he just kind of looks you square in the eye and just says, "Never did I think that I would become the student."
You taught me well, Master. These are the lessons you taught me. I'm just reminding you.
Wise words, my friend. And he kind of sits in a meditative stance, begins to. He motions for you to join him and begins to meditate and rest in his
And I
own
do
quiet
the
way.
same.
Okay. Alright. The remaining number of hours continue to pass until morning breaks and the sun crests over, or the daylight crests over the edge of the mountain as dark, heavy gray clouds roll in. It has become light outside. It is probably about 7 in the morning at this point.
Is this kind of like another long rest?
Yeah, well, for the purposes of done in time, I'll just say long rest for everybody.
Cool. As soon
Kicking
as
and
the
resting.
sun starts sort of coming up, probably before
Mhm.
most people are awake, I would like to go out and I would like to try looking for hips.
Absolutely. So
'Cause
at the crest of dawn, because I would say yeah, like y'all are resting, but you're also all like not fully asleep after all the shit that you've gone through. So I'm not gonna ask for checks for rest or anything like that. So at the break of dawn, as soon as it becomes light enough for you to somewhat see without staring through the grays of your dark vision, Brandon, you get up off your bench, begin to make your way outside and off into the scant wilderness around you, searching for herbs. Make a survival check for me. With
Okay.
advantage,
Yay.
I
Good.
think.
Follow
That's
tracks.
DC.
Game guide. Benefit.
That's the staff for us, D6.
Okay.
Jesus. That thing regains so much, it's ridiculous. I'm so done with that staff.
Let's
Oh my
go.
goodness.
2
Oh my
8s. What the fuck?
How?
I rolled MTC. I told you I shouldn't have rolled before the game. I rolled a
You
nat
should.
20 before the game.
I told you not to waste it. Why don't you listen to me?
2 7s. That's a 14, right?
You know what? At this point, I mean, okay, wow, Jesus, yeah, that's rough, lady. Okay, so,
I need them.
I know, I'm sorry. Roll better.
I'm
Playing your
trying.
dice.
I'm trying.
Um,
It's fine.
so it takes you. It takes you the better part of an hour or so looking around in the cold, scavenging, and you are able to come across 3 units of Delrine.
Yay.
And that is not in cold climate, and that is. Yep, okay. Right, yep, so that's what you found. Other than that, the henbane's not in this area, and
Mm-hmm.
the root either. So. But, let me see something actually, because why not? For fun. It's not bad. Alright, so you pick up, I'm sorry, 4 Delrine, not 3.
Ooh,
You get 4. There you go.
even better.
But it takes you about an hour or so of venturing out in the cold as everybody's already awake. The rest of you all wake up to Branwen not in the area. And Esmeralda doesn't seem to have aroused yet either.
I walk outside to see where she went. I'm just like,
Look around and you see no Branwen.
our pale girl just disappeared on us.
I imagine she's probably picking herbs. Or doing something to relate to darkness, I imagine.
What?
Something early morning, I don't know. Perhaps there's only herbs that grow in the morning. I don't fucking know about this stuff. I use my blood, alright?
Rohan just kind of looks over to Osgood and like, does he know what he's talking about?
No!
I look back and go, he never does. And
Exactly.
and I just go there. I just kind of wait by the door. I just lean up by the entrance and just wait until
Okay.
someone shows up.
Alright.
I need to get everybody gathered.
Why? Talk about dark arts more?
I'd like to talk about Strahd.
Oh, more dark arts.
And a plan for, yes, exactly. A plan for what we're going to be doing when we inevitably go to meet him.
Thelma just kind of looks over at me. All right. I'll wait for her when she arrives, if she arrives.
Alright. She's probably dead somewhere, let's be honest.
I glare at Osgood. Like
Okay, I look a little
you
taken
start seeing the green come out.
I don't know.
back.
This green
Please,
energy
can I
used to
walk up at this
flare out
point?
sometimes.
Please, can I walk up
Yeah,
at
Sure,
this
you
point?
can walk
Yeah.
up at this point. Absolutely.
I mean, only semi-dead, but
Thelma just looks back. He's like,
Jesus
Like,
Christ, just like my
there she
sarcasm
is.
doesn't have any bearing in this land.
I told the old man
Right.
I was going for a walk.
Precisely.
I walk past Oscar to go. No one dies. I just keep on walking.
Fair enough. Christ almighty, man.
Esmeralda kind of walks into the main room with the rest of you all as you all have had this spat and conversation. It's kind of it looks lively. Good morning, everybody.
Nothing better
Yes.
than a walk to
Morning.
start the morning.
She kind of looks at you and just shakes her head a little. Saying, there was brave idiots or foolish idiots. I'm not sure which. She just kind of cuts that under her breath. All right. As you're all kind of in the hall, in the general area. That's good. You gathered everybody together for a conversation. As Rohan's kind of tending
I'm
the
not
temple in the distance.
sure. I'm not sure how quickly I'm going to be killed if I say this, so. This is going to be controversial to you in particular, Lady Esmeralda. So I apologize if I offend you by saying my own personal curiosity. But as we've been learning more and more about this man that we're supposed to face, this vampire king, it seems like he's trapped more so than he's willingly causing this evil to take hold. Are we entirely sure that he's the true evil here?
She gives you this cold up and down look. Kind of almost looking through you and just...
I've been here for decades now, and yes, this place is cold, but has Strahd ever really... I don't know. I have never personally dealt with him. I don't know how evil he can really be. To me, it just seems like he's a man who's trapped in his own storybook.
She kind of looks at you once more and just... almost in a, disgusted face, just... You are joking, right? You... Entire towns burned because of him.
I have never known much beyond Valaki. I hid when I got here. I've never seen the real horrors about this place.
She's just kind of...
I'm simply voicing what I've seen and what I've heard.
And I'm telling you what I've seen. Kresk is in ashes.
There's more to that.
This is
story.
also...
She kind of looks at you now. It's the second time that's been mentioned. What do you mean?
I kind of look at everyone
God,
like,
Jesus.
do we want to go down this road?
Not entirely sure.
Helmo's just kind of scowling over to his master. Just sits down next to his master and just like, I don't want nothing to this.
Okay.
I don't know if that's if we're going down this road or not.
I mean, if we don't go down it now, we'll
entirely
have to go
sure.
down it later.
That's true. So, Kresk might be slightly our fault.
She just looks at you deadpan and just... Your fault? What do you...
Specifically those two, and I point at Osgood and... Alright,
I'm
Bronwyn.
gonna. specifically him. I had other plans.
She looks over at Oscar. She's like,
The winery. You remember it, yes?
I mean, we do.
Fair.
she just looks at you, just like,
The stone that we acquired. There was
Right.
another.
Start from the beginning. Do you
I-
know the place called the Wizard
I don't.
of Wines?
she kind of looks at you. She's like, yeah.
So we were sent there to find out what was going on because there was a missing shipment. Turns
Mhm.
out they were under siege by one of Strahd's brides and druids. We may have, in exchange for the lives of them, sent Strahd's bride on a wild goose chase to Kresk.
Not knowing that you were there. I mean,
Not even close.
She
Or
looks,
quite the scale of the destruction that was about to happen.
she looks just like, and Esmeralda's tan woman. Like, she's very tan, very well colored. Her face is almost pale, and almost a shade lighter, if you will. And she's just kind of like trying to process this, and she just looks over and just, how many? She kind of pauses and then looks at you with a little bit of rage in her face. She just looks at you like, how many?
How many what?
How many people did you save with your goose chase? How many? And she is just
Couple dozen.
angry faced.
well, I mean, the entire family of the Raven.
We have some powerful allies that can potentially help us against Strahd.
Make a persuasion check.
You're really asking me to make a persuasion check, MTC.
Yes.
You're the one who said the words. I was going to ask whoever said the last word to make the persuasion check.
Thank fuck
Wonderful.
it's not me.
I know, that's why I told you to shut up.
Ugh.
Thank fuck.
She's angry.
Yeah, and she's hostile towards me, so I'm not getting
She's
advantage.
very hostile towards you, and she's not happy about this whole thing. She looks over and she's like, and who gave you all the right? Who gave you the ability to decide? Did you weigh the options? Did you?
For the record, I was gonna let the old dude die.
I felt that if I let him die, things would have gone far worse for us. We were already in a sticky situation and we would have died. I imagine if the bride hadn't gotten what she wanted.
She looks you over and just all the respect is drained from her face, and she just kind of looks at you with just this stare, and it's almost this detest look on her face. She's just like, an entire village for 12 people. Just... Okay, so that one's on you. The blood of that entire village, and she points to you, Osgood, is on those hands. Just coldly kind of turns
And I doubt
away.
I'm ever going to repay it.
And she just kind of like coldly turns away from you, and she's like, so no, there's no negotiating with the devil himself.
So what do you suggest we do? Kill him?
Better plan than most, I've heard.
Others have tried.
Hmm.
And I
Is
look
he
over-
as immoral as they say?
She kind of looks you over and she's like, well, they're two of the best vampire hunters in the realm. Can't do it. with
Yes. And how many vampires have you killed between the two of you? How many of them compare to Strahd's? My turn for the cold glare.
she looks back at you. She's like, 26. Octavio's got 42.
And they compare, do they?
Vampire's a vampire, dear.
Huh.
You all die eventually.
Oh,
Did she say you?
raised eyebrow.
I am raising an eyebrow as well at that. Excuse me.
She kind of looks you up and down. She's like, we're not at odds. But don't think you're as clever as you think you are.
Oh my.
She kind of looks back at Osgood. So you were saying something about parlaying with Strahd.
Evidently, that's not going to happen.
She kind of just like coldly stares again. And just like,
I get it. You dislike me. I'm not going to.
seeing
that.
the thing with Casimir earlier, and seeing the way that was handled, and seeing some other things, she's starting to distance herself from this group.
Hmm.
Still traveling with you, but she seems a bit more on edge. She kind of steps off for a minute. She's like, I'm gonna go and freshen up. You have this conversation without me. It's not doing me any good to be here right now. She kind of turns on a heel and steps out of the room.
The glare follows.
Yep. Well, that went poor.
And what were you expecting?
I'm not entirely sure. I didn't want her in the room.
Then you should have said something.
It would have caused a suspicion, and I already think she was worse as it was with us to begin with.
Yes. Considering she apparently thinks I'm a full-blood vampire. Great fun, that.
That would, yeah, that would have hurt.
Well, I for one don't.
Why
want
do you
to
think she's
lose her
keeping you
help.
alive?
What'd you say, Kenner?
She-
Sorry, you cut out.
Yeah.
No, I specifically said I for one don't want to lose her help.
Neither do I.
Kamal goes by to the door. He's like, let me speak to her real quick. Unlike you guys, she knows that I'm pretty straightforward. And the fact that I protect you guys, even when you guys make very silly mistakes.
I just roll my eyes.
I look very uncomfortable.
You step out and towards Esmeralda. She's just kind of like trying to cool off by the tree.
I just look at her for a second. I'm like, I understand. And you have all right to be mad.
She looks like she's almost about to explode and go off on you as well, and then pauses for a moment and pulls back.
Punch the tree. When I rage, it helps.
She kind of looks you over and a small chuckle, and she's like, I'm good, thanks, but doesn't surprise me.
I will say one thing though. I don't know anything about this land or the people. I just want to go home and have my master join me. But Strahd hurt my master. Strahd has hurt a lot of people. I value life. I don't think you do not think those in the other room as evil. Self-centered? Perhaps. Misguided? Perhaps. They're not evil. They're too wrapped up in their own survival or anything else. They don't think about long term. I wanted to fight that queen. I fought one before. She's not gonna like me very much. Put it that way. A little smile comes on Kelman's face. But priorities are priorities. Regardless, we find out what's more going on with Strahd. We fight him. We need to find ways to boost our strength, to boost our numbers. Once it's done, we can remember your village. And then I just walk off.
She's gonna stay outside standing there. But your piece has been heard. She just kind of nods and puts her head down and just kind of looks off into the distance as you walk off. Okay.
I just mentioned to Gaynor real quick, Mike. He'll be okay. It's gonna take a while to rebuild trust, obviously. He's more like me. You know how I am.
What are y'all doing?
My suggestion is that we head for the last item.
The one in Kresk?
I mean, if the town's empty, What's
Or
the
is
harm?
it? We don't know what that town is right now.
And we have 2 days at most.
2 days.
You forget our invitation.
I mean, if we're not going to accept it, we're not going to accept it in 2 days. So
They'll come for us if we don't.
What are the chances we accept the invitation and yet we get to leave?
I don't imagine great.
That's the key. Talk to him and we leave, that's one thing. But if we just go straight there, another. I like the idea of going to Kresk. We need more leverage.
I agree with that.
Fair.
Well, seems we're set on Kresk.
I kind of toss up that little ruined stone I gotta go. This might tie into something. Haven't figured it out yet, but he kind of tosses the stone in his hand. He's like, this might be part of the leverage. Maybe we'll find more in Kresk.
The druids have the other two.
Exactly. And the druids seem to work for Strahd.
Or at least his bride.
Kill the druids, get the stone, save the world.
Plus, remember, we fought one bride before. We go straight to Ravenloft. One of those brides are not going to like us.
not to mention we'll find them all in one place. We might find just one alone in Kresk. I mean, not alone, but
Hi.
So let's go to Kresk first. And if nothing comes up at Kresk, then we go to Ravenloft.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to do before you all set out for Kresk?
Say my fucking prayers.
And say a prayer to the god that you think would listen. It does not listen.
Yeah, no.
I just kind of do whatever I do with my master to make sure he's A-okay and stuff.
Just gonna look you over, make sure you're taken care of. He's pretty well set up here for the most part. He can survive. He's gonna stay here. He's kind of made that decision.
Yep.
He's gonna look you up and down. Anybody else? Are we setting off on the road again?
I think we're ready to go.
On the road
Yeah.
again. All right.
Mhm.
So, you all gather your things, gather Esmeralda, gather your horses, and set off down the massive mountain the same way you came up. The travel down with horses and the heavy snow is slightly more difficult than the travel up. Takes you a bit longer to wind and weave your way down, and eventually, after about the 45 minutes or so it took you, you get back to the large bridge that makes up the Solenka Pass, a massive stone bridge that you would come across beforehand. Let's see. Let's do a thing. Because things. What's that?
Ouch.
Oh, that's a good roll. That's a
Woohoo.
good
Oh, no.
roll.
Rock time?
God, I hope not.
Suddenly, a red dragon appears.
Ancient?
Why not?
Yeah. Okay. So, as you all are making your way across the bridge, you get about 3/4 of the way across, and you hear the loud, shrill caw off in the distance, but not so far off in the distance.
Oh, goodness.
As you
I
see the
fucking knew
massive
it!
Bird one more time, swooping from the edge of the chasm, coming down from below you all upwards this time. Seems to be flapping its wings coming from below you on the mountainside. The 6 of you and the 5 horses are sitting on the bridge as this thing is probably about 250 feet from you, flying towards you in your direction. And I need
Gatehouses.
Off the bridge! Off the bridge!
I need the music and things. Because music and things. And that's not that. That's not what I need. Nope, not that. Why are you doing the thing? There you go. Okay. Nope. I've messed all up. That's fine. Continue. Sorry. To the gatehouses. I need. Oof. Well, it would be the horses that are making sure. Gatehouses. Probably about. Get to a map. Let's get to a map. It's gonna give us good visuals. Do
Yeah.
that.
Map.
There's a map.
Map.
He's not there. These guys are here. He's dead. That's a fun. Yeah, so you get to about here, and then the massive bird is swooping and flying from this direction. As you all make your way toward the gatehouses, I need everybody to make me a. You got the horses still, right? Nobody's dismounted. Everybody make me an animal handling check.
Oh, God.
Make me an animal handling check.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
It's not bad.
Today's the day I die.
Uh-huh.
That was
Oh, actually, no, I
precarious.
have Ring of Brief Blessing. I have Ring of Brief Blessing. I'm gonna use
Okay.
that. Roll again.
Okay, that's better.
Holy
Very
shit.
nice, okay.
Better.
So you all managed to careen your horses over to the edge of these guard towers, more or less, and you get right tucked up just inside them. And as the last one of you is getting there, Trovik kind of like bringing up the rear with his horse, but just barely. All of you make it to the gatehouses as you hear the screeching of this bird and just the flap of its wings as its talons rip off of the side of the stone bridge and just like tear a chunk of the bridge out as it collides just massively with it. It misses swiping all of you though.
Man, I was
taking a small chunk of the bridge.
really hoping because last time I was on this bridge it was just an illusion, but shit.
How long is this bridge?
Bridge is you got a ruler.
That's fine. We're going this way. We're going this
Yeah,
way.
you're going this way.
Oh, we're going this way.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought,
But far away.
going the
Yeah,
other way.
you've made it to about here. I just haven't moved.
Oh,
you,
okay,
so
okay.
Yeah,
So
no,
never mind.
you got 3/4 of the way across the bridge before this thing came at you
Gotcha.
because I rolled a 19 and not a 20. So that's the thing. But it did just like
Barely miss us.
barely miss you and like hit here and then kind of continue flying upwards.
Got it.
If I peek my head
Sure.
out, is it circling?
Make a perception check.
Who's got a bird call?
Oh,
Can I make a performance check?
Oh no!
No, that roll, man, that roll's not good. Looks like it's gone. You made at least a pass.
Can
I
I
mean-
make a perception?
I mean, who's in which one?
That determines it. Yeah, it's on you guys.
Yeah.
I say Esmeralda be with you wherever you go. Pick a gatehouse.
With me?
Esmeralda's on your horse, is she not? No, she's not.
Oh,
She was
shit,
on somebody
yeah.
else before.
Oh,
Shit,
okay.
she was on my horse before. I don't know if she wants to be on
That
my
would be
horse
bad.
anymore, or if I want her on my horse.
I would think that she'll probably be on Kelma's horse, because, like,
Yen. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll say for story continuity that she's on Kelmon's horse now.
yeah.
Alright, so she'd be in the one with
That'd be
Kelmon.
kind of weird after all that. It's like, yeah, I'm right in the back of your horse.
Yeah, no, she's
Saddle
not
right up
riding
to
with
you.
me anymore.
She stabs you in the
I'm
back
gonna kill
with a
you.
fucking
Yeah.
dagger.
Ride on your horse, though.
Fuck.
Alright. Okay. So, sure, why not? I was good. Make me a perception check, just for the giggles.
Okay, I think fuck.
I'm in this one.
Uh,
Oh,
uh,
thanks.
17.
It seems like it's flying off. Yay in this direction. Doesn't look like it's circling. Seems
It's flying off.
like it may have been making a one swoop in the direction, not hunting per se.
It made a last-ditch attempt to get my ass. Let's go.
Let's. Let me walk out.
As you
I'm
walk
gonna-
out and kind of look over in the direction,
Yeah.
it is flying further off and higher up the mountain.
Alright. Seems we're in the clear. We should probably get going.
All right, let's get going then.
Before
Let's
it changes
move.
its mind.
I grab Esmeralda's hand and help her on the back of my horse.
And you all make your way quickly enough with a brisker pace now, kind of rushing the horses towards this segment of the mountain. You make it back through these gatehouses, past the main gate itself that has no trap in it anymore. And for the next 4 to 6 hours, let's say, because I'd probably have to travel back, because the travel down was harder than the travel up. Other than the rock sighting that you saw that one time, nothing super eventful as you're trekking down the road. If you guys would like to say anything to each other, you can, or we can just move on. But
Move on, I guess.
you kind of get to the intersection, the Raven River crossroad that you had been to beforehand. And let's see. Okay. So you come back to this crossroad that splits to the east and the west. You obviously come from the south branch. And you know that going east will take you back to Valaki, and northwest would be the route towards Kresk. In the distance, you can see a stone bridge that's probably about 100 feet or so off, and it seems to gap this river and then continue a little bit further into the forest. And then About a quarter mile down the road splits in two again, in the direction that you're looking to go if you're actually going to Kresk. But the signposts are clearly labeled. 1 point's Kresk, 1 point's Valaki, another 1 point's Wizard of Wines. As you take the path to Kresk, and you all begin to travel for the next 2 hours or so.
I'm keeping my eyes out because I'm very suspicious at this point.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Jesus,
MTC is
yeah.
on fire, and I am terrified.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good thing we're
I'd
not in the
be
middle of a
terrified.
fight right now. Jeez.
Miles
this would be
Edgeworth
real
is on
bad.
fire.
Do.
God,
Everyone
we're
gets
so
1,000
fucked.
platinum.
Yeah, right.
That's the kind of rerun right now.
God help me. Oh well, no, we would be overwhelmed by carry weight, so you'd just fall off our horses and then things would attack us. Talk about a fucking awesome ambush tactic.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so, as you all kind of get to this intersection and make your decision and begin to head northwest over the stone bridge, you see, and pardon me, I need to bring up a thing. Yes, I need to bring up a thing. It's DM stuff, y'all. That's that. Where's that? Why is that a thing? That's just sorry. Okay. All right. So you see a is it a cart or a wagon? These are the real questions.
We've already had that argument.
It's a wagon.
It is a wagon, actually. Coming down the trail towards you, ahead of you, is a large wagon. That just makes its way into view as soon as you pick this path and start going down it for a little ways. And massive wagon. It seems to be being drawn by 2 old donkeys that kind of plod along, drawing it slowly. And you can notice standing beside the 2 horses, or the 2 donkeys. It's a grotesque-looking figure. It's probably about 4'8", 4'9", as far as height goes. Looks vaguely humanoid. Make a perception check for me. Well, let's get a marching order first, actually. Who would be first in a traveling party? If you all were to march.
I don't know.
I'd be towards the mid back, so
I'm
And
staring
he's-
at back.
In the front, probably.
Let's
I'm
get the
probably-
traveling order just for things.
Yeah, I'll probably be like right behind Trovik, which also means
Okay.
Esmeralda's right behind me.
Yep, Esmeralda behind the Trovik, got it. And a Shield Guardian walking behind the Trovik, and a Gaynor in the back. Something like that, I think. Brandon, where did you say you were? No, I was good,
Back.
sorry.
She's in the very back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get that.
Trust
And
issues
I'll just come in the
galore
middle.
right now.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
So,
Yeah.
apologies. Okay. There you go. Boop. Perfect. Okay, and then that. And then that. And I think I've messed this up. Probably messed this up. It's okay though. We're doing it anyway. Alright, so you see this wagon. Grotesque figure sitting there, 4'9", kind of walking by this wagon. It has vague human features, but it has 3 eyes. 2 of them look like cat's eyes, and they look like they're in the right place. And the 3rd eye is in the center of its forehead, and it's just like a milky white. It doesn't seem to have any iris in it at all. As this creature kind of moseys a little bit closer into view, you can clearly see that the left hand resembles like some sort of monkey or ape. And the creature seems to have long, greasy hair. And the clothes that it's wearing are like a dank green color.
Can
Doesn't look like he's wearing any shoes.
Can I remember tales of, like, monkey's paw? Like, the fortune item? And just in general, like, in history, mythology? Do those exist in D&D?
Not particularly, no. If they do, they're
Oh,
not by
okay.
that name.
Right, fair enough.
I wouldn't know what the D&D term for it would be, but you see that this creature seems to have legs that look more like a dog than a human. It seems to be walking upright on them. Coming down the road towards you.
Okay. Just for me to keep up.
Mhm.
Cat's eyes. A
Yes.
white eye in the center of the eye.
Cat's
a monkey
eyes,
hand,
third eye,
and
milky white in
dog
the
feet.
center. Monkey hand, dog feet, dent green clothes, no shoes.
What is
So a
this?
chimera.
Chimera. Atrocity.
Something like
Well,
that.
chimera is a combination of multiple creatures.
Oh, that's true.
Kind of gets closer to you all, probably within about 40 feet now at this point. Wagon's still moving in your direction.
Come just doesn't do anything. He just kind of looks at it. Like, I'm assuming the thing sees us. Clearly
Yeah, I
at
mean,
this
it's
point.
not hiding from you. It's walking in your direction.
I mean, he's dragging, it is dragging along a carriage and a donkey. It has some form of intelligence.
Yeah, exactly. I just kind of look at the thing. Weird.
It's kind of
and I
walking
just-
with, like, taking, like, a right step, and then the left leg is taking, like, this wide swinging step kind of thing, and then kind of, like, repeating. And just, this creature looks all kinds of messed up. Not sure what it is, as it kind of gets closer to you all. You can hear it kind of muttering something under its breath. Does anybody speak Undercommon?
I do. Yeah, Kalma does.
Shit, I speak deep speech.
Okay, come on. You can kind of just hear it muttering to itself. Seems to be mutters of, like, worry and just, like, concern. Like, clearly it thinks that nobody can understand it, but it's
I yell
nervous,
out.
I guess, is the sounds and the whimpers you hear coming from. You can't really make out any, like, details of words. It's just kind of like a nervous, like a, oh, um, oh dear, that type of thing.
I hold up my hand to the group, and I'm just like, this thing doesn't seem like a threat, and I understand him. Let me say something to him real quick. And I just yell out. I go, halt. We mean no harm. What's wrong?
He kind of stops and he's just like, in Undercommon, he says to you, I was quite concerned that you might have meant harm.
I look at him, I say in Undercommon, I go, we mean no harm. I've never seen a thing like you before. Well, where are you going?
He looks at you dead in the face and he just kind of looks up. He's like, I'm taking my hay, and he kind of points over his shoulder at the barrels, a big cart of hay, to Valaki, to the stables. Trying to sell the hay for horses.
Are you
It's a
welcome
meager
in
living.
Valaki?
Kind of looks you up and down. He's like, I have stuff they need. I hope so.
Okay. Just making sure. Is there any danger? And I'm assuming he's coming from the crest area, right?
Yeah, he's coming from the Kresk area.
I go, is there any danger down the road towards crest that we should be looking out for?
Say, no danger here.
Okay. I do an insight check to see if I suspect anything with him.
Make an inside check.
Because you're the only one of us that can.
15.
Yeah, that's enough. Not. Not exactly being straight.
I just blurt out in my normal Kelmar fashion. I go, I know you're hiding something. Speak now. We mean no harm. But speak.
Stop, criminal scum! You violated the law. Be the court of I serve your sentence.
He kind of looks you over and he's now just got this like scared, wilted look on his face. He's just like, uh, you don't mean harm, but you're raising your voice. And
Because you're hiding something. You're not just shipping hay, are you?
he kind of looks you over. He's like, I'm taking hay to Valaki.
I go,
The rest of you see this conversation undercommon happening, and you see that Kelma in undercommon is getting louder, and this other creature doesn't seem to be raising its voice at all. That's what the rest of the party can gather from this rousing conversation back and forth.
Huh. You quite alright, mate.
fine. He seems fine, but he's hiding something. I just want to make sure it's not something we'll regret.
I'm gonna glance
Does
at
he
Gaynor.
look like he's? Does it look like he's following our conversation in common?
Make a perception check.
Uh,
What did that end up on?
17.
Not bad. It does look like he understands what you're saying. You
So
just
I'm
catch
just
a glance of it, and it just seems like he's twitched his head one time when you were talking. Wasn't
Okay.
much, but it was just enough to tip you off that maybe he knows what you're saying, even if he doesn't speak what you're saying. Or even if he wasn't, per se.
carry on with what you two are doing.
Okay.
I
A
mean,
minute.
if we need him to talk, I could always just, blast him. See what happens.
I lean over to Gaynor, and I go, and I just say, and I whisper in his ear, I go, "Don't blast him for real."
I'm
But-
gonna
Oh,
can't bring my horse forward slightly. Please do excuse my friends. We would just want to ensure that the road ahead is safe for travelers such as ourselves.
Kind of looks at you and just kind of like gives two big nods.
so you do understand common.
Kind of looks back over at you and just gives one big nod.
But you don't speak it.
You hear an undercommon fig. No? I can hear it.
At this point, I'm slowly just kind of writing up just a little bit, and I'm like, "Oh, you understood our conversation, but you can't reply. You know that makes you suspicious, right?"
He kind of looks at you. And he's getting a little nervous.
I've heard of cultures that.
What do you? And I just turn to the group. I go, "What do you think? He doesn't seem like a threat,
think
but he
he's-
definitely seems like he's hiding something."
I think he's fine. I think we can just pass by him.
I have thoughts.
What are
Does
your
Bramwin
thoughts?
have thoughts?
What are your Nimue thoughts? You can talk at the table.
Okay. Out of character, I think he's cursed.
Mm.
Oh, huh.
That could be
Okay.
My brain
alright.
just went, hang on a minute.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
So,
Huh.
alright. Well,
Oh. Okay, carry on. Test a theory.
Are you gonna do
Also, there's a
anything?
table?
I can't do anything. But brain goes, there's something weird here.
Kelma just looks over at Gaynor and go, you want to do your detect magic thing? Because if he's just holding hay and there's magic, we know he's lying about something.
How far away am I from this fool? Alright,
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these horses because they're cool and all, but they're not
yeah, they're
necessary
not
for
moving.
the not necessary for the map. Sorry.
So I start moving closer to him, like
Mhm.
staring at him.
I
He should be
understand.
afraid.
He should be afraid.
He should be afraid.
Crazy mage is walking toward him, hand outstretched. Like,
Once I'm within, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
my hand's just like stretched out, and you can see me
yeah,
just like
yeah,
readying
no.
something.
there's no magic.
And I kind of like hold out my hand, and well, I haven't casted
Oh,
magic,
sorry.
but and I cast quick magic, and I don't sense anything, right?
You said something. I assumed sure at will. I just assumed that
Yeah.
you. At this point, I'm assuming it's on.
Right.
Not
I mean, I
always.
don't.
You talked about it, so I figured that was the natural progression. I'm
There's
sorry.
nothing magical going on here, so.
All right. And I turn to the creature and I say in undercommon, I go, one last question. Who do you deliver the hay to?
He kind of just looks at you blankly for a second, and then gives you a name. It's not a name you're familiar with or recognize, but it is a name seemingly of somebody in town. The answer seems confident enough.
Okay.
It's like he's
All
got
right.
a source in mind, somebody to sell it to. But this isn't a first time thing.
Okay. I just look at the
Like it didn't seem like he was fishing for an answer. It's like he
yeah.
gave you a
He
name. He gave you an
gave me a
answer.
name.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So I just wave him along, and I'm just holding to my staff and stuff, and I'm just gonna watch him.
Okay. He kind of nervously nods and shuffles his donkeys along and begins moving down the road again. And the cart continues on.
I kind of say it. I say under my breath to Gaynor, like, hope we don't regret this, but doesn't seem like he has anything. I'm not gonna attack unprovoked. We're not
I mean,
bandits.
Did seem like we needed to attack him in the first place.
So as the cart kind of waddles off into the distance, getting to the intersection and going down the fork towards back to Valaki.
Do I?
The rest.
Well, when I'm looking at the hay, I'm assuming we can see all the hay in this cart. Did we notice anything in the cart? Like,
Actually, that's a good question. Make a perception check for me. I will say, Kelma, you make it with advantage because I would assume that the whole party is probably doing some sort of.
Oh,
looking at
yeah.
it.
And again.
Please roll.
There we go.
That's
16.
better.
16. Hold on a tick.
Holding on a mighty
Oh
pit.
no, that's way too much. That's not what I meant to do at all.
1,700 rocks fall from the sky.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
God.
1,700 dice just rolled on my screen because of some bullshit, so
Bruh.
I shoot that. Okay, let's see. That is a
Oof.
rock. Looks like a lot of hay.
Oh. Damn it.
Looks
Okay.
like massive piles of hay.
All right, I mean, it's
Okay,
nothing much
good.
more I could. It's nothing more I could do.
I mean, what was your roll?
16?
I had a 16.
I mean, that was close.
No, if that's it, man.
No, I know. That's really close. Well, I mean, it's a 19.
Oh, I
'cause it's
know
plus
what
2, so
I.
it's- No, that's fine.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Yep. So the cart continues to move on down the road, slightly off into the distance, as you all are still on your road towards Kresk. And as it takes you another couple hours down the road or so. It's starting to get dusky. It's probably around 4 or 5 o'clock at this point in the evening. Took you a decent bit of time to get off the mountain and down the road and past the cart and across the bridge, etc. But the road branches north. And it kind of splits off into one goes further west and one goes north. And you see a small little signposting that says Crest to the north as you guys kind of branch on that part of the road. This segment of road branches north and climbs rocky escarpment, ending at what appears to be a large gatehouse that seems to be built into a 20-foot high wall of stone, reinforced with massive stone buttresses every 50 feet or so. As you all begin to go up this little stretch of road, you can more clearly see this wall stretches around some sort of area. You can see just over the wall the tops of a few buildings and settlement, almost like a settlement with houses and things. And then you see a number of snow-covered pine trees beyond the wall as well. And as you all kind of climb up this steep cliff face of a path, about 100, 200 feet up. I'm going to put y'all on a map real quick because that's fun to use for everybody involved. This is probably going to be a really small map again, guys, so I apologize in advance for teeny map. If y'all can even see anything, which you probably can't, so I'll figure it out. Perfect. Okay, so you are not on the
Not
map
that
because
bad.
of course you're not. What's that?
It's not that
Fuck.
bad. It's not that small.
You all can see the map. Interesting. Well, that's cool. Dog, shut up. I love you to death, but you've been barking for the last 30 minutes. Stop it. I tried to ignore you, but now you're getting on my nerves. Yeah, y'all are all tiny folk. I'm putting you on right now. And I need an Esmeralda, and I need a Shield Guardian because of things and stuff. Well, perfect. So, apologies. Okay, so yeah, as you can kind of see beyond the wall, you see what appear to be snow-covered pine trees. There's no smoke coming from any part of this area. It seems there's not a whole lot of anything coming from this area. There doesn't seem to be any sound. As you guys kind of get a little bit closer to the gate, you see that the gate is ajar on one side, and one side of it seems halfway open, and the other side has heavy gashes and claw marks through it. But as you all basically get to this outer wall gatehouse, and you're probably about 20 feet away from it at this point, you hear a heavy chime of a bell, and it's somber in its toll, and just rings once, twice, and a third time. And it seems to be coming from up on the hill, and you can kind of look over the wall and see that atop this massive cliff face with a switchback path that kind of leads up to the top of it, almost 700 to 1,000 feet up, is what appears to be a small plateau, and then this large stone building that seems to sit atop it. You can just barely make out a large tower that seems to be a bell tower, and this seems to be where the clang and the cling is coming from. As you get even closer, the air continues to grow colder as you climb, and now that you're at this gate, standing in front of it, ajar as it is, you see the word Kresk engraved in the frame above the gate. It's quiet. What are y'all doing?
He's just
So
gonna ride into town, or
it's up to you all.
This could be bad.
You know what? We're gonna take our session break.
Dog, oh no. Oh god.
Puppy's about to get scolded.
It's about
No,
This
it'll
is
give you all
gonna
some
hurt.
time to think. It'll give us some figuring
Yeah.
out. Put pause on it.
All right,
Oh,
so
God.
okay,
Say-
we'll do a 10. Is that good?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys. We're gonna take a quick 10-minute break. We'll be back very soon. Thank you guys so much. Please share the stream, all that great stuff. If you're on YouTube watching, make sure you hit the like button, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. We truly appreciate you guys. All right, and here we go. Hello and welcome everybody to session 26 of Curse of Strahd, the second half. Thank you guys again so much for all the support, be it on the YouTube side or the Twitch side. Please remember, if you're on the YouTube side, please hit the like button. Really appreciate the support. And if you're on the Twitch side, tell people about the stream. Let's keep on growing the Curse of Strahd adventure stream and future streams that we have for D&D on this channel. And yeah, I pass it off to MTC. Take it away.
All right. So, back at the fun, sitting on the horses at the gate of Kresk, or the gatehouse of Kresk, that is, door wide open and ajar on one side, and heavy claw marks scraping the lower half of the door on the other side. I will also say that you all gain a heavy sense of smell in this area. Once you all got close enough to this gatehouse, you smelled it, but when you were approaching, you started to smell just like what almost appears to be the smell of like burnt timber and remnants of fire and burning. And the stench of death is still heavy in the air. What would you like to do?
I'm just gonna kind of start leading my horse forward and just be like, let's take this easy.
Agreed.
Mhm. So as you lead your horse forward and towards the edge through one of the gate doors, you see on the ground the bodies of two what were at one point soldiers, both in metal armor, that seem to be completely torn up and almost unrecognizable carcasses laying on the ground in the center of the doorway.
Only really glance at them to see if they're gonna move or not before carrying on.
Mhm.
It's more about, please don't come alive, please don't come alive, please don't come alive.
So you all make your way through the gatehouse itself. And map-wise, this is going to put you all here where your actual size now. So have fun.
He's just gonna give us a party dot.
Y'all are a party, but I can give you a party dot if it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna stay pretty grouped.
Like,
Yeah, especially knowing
it's
what
a
we
whole
did to this
town,
place.
that's the thing. So
Yeah.
Party dot, where you at? I know I've got it somewhere.
As I ride along, you're probably gonna hear like confite or de omnipotency.
Wait,
But
party
yeah,
dot. What the?
something like that, essentially.
Gotcha. Sorry. Party dot has failed me.
No.
We are set as a
We-
bonus.
Can we just
We-
use the armor if you want?
I know. No, we can't all be chicken. That would be hilarious. Where the fuck is my party dot? That's gonna
We are
piss me
all overtake. Everyone is a minotaur. Wait, that's Lefty.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Working on it. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Immersion breaking, I know.
My immersion. What are you doing?
Alright. We are the animated armor for the purposes of everything. Technically, everybody can see and move the animated armor. So we're going to move all of you off the map. And we're now this.
Yay.
You're a party now.
Yay, party!
Yay.
And you don't have stats because that's lame. Stop moving party so I can take off the stats.
No.
We're done. We're done. We're done having fun.
Alright, sorry.
This is a no fun zone anymore. No. You have 0 health. Whole party's dead. Done. Okay. But yeah, so basically you make it past the gatehouse and you have this winding switchbacking road that continues up each one of these little dotted lines that you see on the map. I think you can see them. I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay. Each one of those is 100 feet vertically.
Ooh.
The gap between. So yeah. That's what it says. Plus 100 feet. Yep. But you all make your way kind of past this fenced gatehouse. Or, I don't know. No, that makes sense. Gatehouse would be here. I apologize. I'm lying. Don't listen to me.
Correct. Yep. Uh-huh.
That was the split in the road. I'm losing my damn mind. Gatehouse would be here. So you all make it past the gatehouse. There we go. Gatehouse and things. Beyond this gate, there's little more than a scattering of some humble wooden cottages along dirt roads that stretch between a number of strands of snow-dusted pine trees. It's a lot of trees in this area. Like, you've walked inside of a wall, but it's almost like you've walked into another forest of some kind that seems to have houses inside of it, if that makes sense. From where you are in the interior of this area, just walking through the gatehouse and on the inside of this massive wall, you notice that you can now see to the northeast the cliff rises sharply, and where you could before see that building on the hillside around the cliffside, you can now see a road that seems to wind up to it along the cliff face itself, just from this distance and this vantage point. As you all are kind of walking through this town, It's quiet. It's almost too quiet. Sorry.
All I ever heard of this place was there was a mad priest here. I didn't realize there were more people than that.
Esmeralda kind of looks in your direction, just... You thought there was one priest here?
I thought there was a church and not much else. I thought it was a military complex.
She just kind of looks at you and just laughs and shakes her head. Somebody who's lived here for 40 years. I've learned more about this place in 6 months.
Hi.
It's a shame. She kinda... Yep. This was a village. There were people who lived here.
How many lived?
I didn't count every head, but close to 30 or more.
Christ.
And you do see there are a number of cabins and cottages, and all of which are fairly decent sized. They're all about 200 square feet. Roundabout. Some more, some less. But you notice that a number of these buildings, most of them in fact, seem to have been damaged in some way during what you know is the recent siege. A lot of the windows are smashed in. A few of the doors have been knocked down. Some of the roofs are missing completely. One or two have been burnt to the ground entirely. As you're kind of traveling just through this village, wandering around, looking around, you notice that a lot of the backyards have what appear to be their own personal, like, cemeteries. Seems to be a theme in this town.
A theme as of late, or as of late, or a theme they've always had.
Seems pretty well established. From looking around, it seems like every residence has its own small cemetery in the back. Small graveyards, if you will.
Should probably start making our way to the church.
Hi.
Yes. If there's anything
Slowly.
left here.
Say what you want about the mad priest. At least the church was fortified.
So as you all continue to the winding cliff face, staircase, shelf, if you will, towards the back center of town, there is nothing in these streets. Like, the further you wander to get to the winding road, which is up here, and you're just wandering through dirt road and trees and burnt down buildings and the smell of death all around, and you can see a number of dead bodies and corpses laying throughout the street, some just laying around. Maybe count 10 or 15, just based on your passing and your count as you walk through the streets of this completely quiet forested city. Let's say it takes you all about 15 minutes or so to get to the other side of town, just observing everything, being cautious and being careful. Make you have alert, a thing, and a thing. Oh, good. Okay. Alright. So, being cautious and careful, you kind of wind through town on your horses still, and make your way over to the narrow switchback that climbs steeply up the face of the mountain to the large building. Or the face of the cliff to the large building. Where are we at? There we go. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Nope. So I flipped off the page. Why would you ever flip off the page, they say?
That's rude. Should remember to show the page the
F.
finger.
Ridiculous, right? Just unacceptable.
I don't know, mines. There's a couple of essays that I would quite like to have done that too.
Oh,
Yeah, so this road kind of winds up and down the hillside. It is about 10 feet wide and seems to be coated and covered in loose gravel and bits of broken rock. This area is cold. It's not as cold as being on the side of the mountain, but it is chilly. You all are fine because of your warm clothing, but you notice that it's about 1,000 feet up or so. 600 to 1,000 feet, like a straight wall climb. Probably about less than that, actually, based on the maps. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's about 500 feet vertically up this little windy thing. But it's not hard to climb up. It climbs 400 feet, doubling back on itself twice. Nice. Are you going up the road to the Abbey?
Yeah.
The only thing of any actualness. So creeping through the town, getting up the thing to the thing. Yep. Alright. Let's see. What do we have for the occasion? Yeah, that's fun. Oh, okay. Alright. So, as you get up here, this road you've been climbing up, rises to the ledge where the abbey's perched. And a little bit of snow covers the trees and the earth itself. It seems like it's recently snowed in this area. The gravel road that you've kind of been winding up on passes between two small stone outbuildings, and to either side of which of those stretch 5-foot high, 3-foot thick wall of jumbled stones that seem to be held together with some sort of mortar. Positioned in the center of this gravel road, blocking it, are iron gates that are attached to the outbindings by rusty hinges. As you're looking at this formation, gate, iron bars, etc., you're about 15 or so feet away. It does appear that the gates are heavily rusted. May or may not be unlocked, you're not sure. And you can see the abbey kind of through the gate on the other side. Which the building itself has two massive wings, and they're joined by a 15-foot high curtain wall. You see a belfry that protrudes from the rooftop of the closer north wing, and there's also a chimney that is billowing gray smoke coming from the interior of the abbey.
So there's at least someone or something.
Still lives. Aye. Do you suppose we head in?
You hear that, by the way.
The scream?
Shrieking sound.
Oh, lovely.
We should probably go in with great caution.
Dead.
Yes. And whatever we're seeking in Kresk is in there, so...
Aye.
Person in the front or highest perception check. Which one did we decide it was? Branwyn or Osgood?
Branwyn, I think.
Grand one with the
Highest
plus
perception.
Perception for me.
Mm-hmm.
There's your other 10 feet away from the
Don't
gate.
fuck me.
What did it do? I didn't even see the dice roll.
It's a 19.
19. That's very good.
Hey.
It's very good. It did not fuck you, which is very nice. You notice as you get closer, before you move the gates itself, that there are two guards that are on duty, but they don't seem to be awake.
Oh.
As you look at them, one of them is close to about just under 5 feet tall as well. He's sitting down in a squatted position.
Not getting any dates on Tinder.
Probably not. You can see he's got some donkey flesh, it appears to be, covering his face.
Oh
Wow.
no.
And he has one human ear and one wolf ear. And he has one foot that looks like a panther paw. And the other foot looks humanoid. And he's just kind of like sitting curled up. And he's got a small tail hanging off his back.
I'm gonna call Kalma
Oh,
forward.
bro.
You notice another one.
Come comes up.
Hang on.
Has a cloak on. Seems to be more scaly. You can't really make out much because of the cloak at this point. Looks more humanoid, but only about 4.5 feet tall. A little shorter. Also curled up into a ball on the other side and has like a lizard's arm scaly coloration. But they're
I
both
just I look at Branwyn. I'm like, what do you want me to say to them?
Should we even wake them?
Not yet. No, that's the point. I don't know. Why am I calling? I have to call you forward because they can't speak common,
Well,
but they can
yeah,
understand common. So if they replied, I couldn't understand a reply.
okay. Well, did you want to yell out and it just be translate?
Might be for I give him this look like I know how he talks.
I'm sorry, you all are actually now here. Party. Boom. There.
Okay.
For party's sake, you're at the gate.
Okay, here we go. Takes a deep breath and calls out, "Hail and well met," because old timey speak. Shit. I'm trying to wake them.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Wow, I'll laugh. They don't wake
Out.
up.
They are out.
Well,
Yeah.
I suppose we just walk on through then.
I think I would much rather they know that we're not a threat.
But that's so you're talking about a well-fortressed area that has guards posted outside that is just threatening to us in general. We should probably try to do our best not to bring attention. Just because we
I
met one of these
have
guys and
this-
he wasn't a threat to us doesn't mean multiples of them aren't.
I have this feeling. Nim has this feeling
Uh-huh.
that there is more going on than we think.
Or it could just be one of Strahd's wives making creatures out of the humans that were here.
Yeah, that.
Right. So
Which
we want to
means
bring
they're not a
attention
threat
to
to us.
what if they're working for her, how are they not a threat to us? You don't make a creature and then it not be under your control.
What if they knew we could restore them to human?
There was nothing magical about the one I encountered previously. What makes you think we would be able to restore anything that's been created out of multiple things? Seems more like necromancy than a curse.
So turning someone into an animal isn't a curse. And I've already
I
seen
mean,
you
this
remove
isn't
a
just
curse today.
this just isn't one animal. This is multiple animals of being in one thing.
Okay.
This doesn't seem like a curse to me,
Mhm.
unless I'm
Ca-
told
ca-
otherwise.
Kalmon just basically says, make a decision or I'm going to yell out.
I think we should let them know we're here.
Go ahead, yell out.
I just
I
say,
mean-
in undercommon, hey, what happened here?
So as you yell out, the one with the wolf ear kind of gets startled and hops up and kind of just like looking around, kind of like reaches for a weapon on their hip and just kind of like looking over their shoulder back and forth, and kind of notices you at the gate.
I hold my hand up and go, "We mean no harm. We came to the town. Can you tell us the story of what happened here?"
Kind of looks at you and just who are you?
Is he saying it in common or undercommon?
He's saying it in common, but he's
Okay.
struggling to make words.
I say in undercommon. I go, "Is it easier to speak undercommon?"
He says in same broken, barely manageable undercommon. No.
Okay. It's bright.
No, it's just, he's having issues putting words together. But after a moment of trying to like come up with words and they're just getting frustrated, you see him like kick around the dust and the dirt, and he just kind of like raises his wolf foot and he just like kicks into the other one who's still asleep on the ground and kind of wakes her up, and she just kind of like jolts and startles. And he kind of like mumbles to her a little bit and tries to like motion to her to talk, and she kind of looks over at you all and just like, "Who in the hell are you guys? What is it?"
We are travelers. We came to this town.
I can
We
see you
see
came
that-
to the town. You're at the gate.
But what happened outside?
We don't go down there. We're not fucking stupid.
What is this temple then?
You ask a lot of questions. Who the hell are you?
Traveler. And this is my group.
Well,
see-
a traveler and a group. I don't know if that makes you trustworthy.
Is this
Well.
common or undercommon?
Well,
This
this
is
is
spoken undercommon.
oh, real
Okay.
undercommon. There you go.
Sorry, I gotta remember to designate.
Yeah. I just say back in common. Well, I say in undercommon. I go, "Can you speak common?" The rest of my group doesn't understand us.
She kind of looks over at you, and then you hear in comment, she's like, "I speak a bit. More than him." And she kind of looks over and laughs at the other one. And you can now see that she's only about 4'7", and the left side of her face and her body is just covered with lizard scales. And now you can clearly see that the right is covered in tufts of like gray wolf fur. And between some of the tufts, you can see a pale human-like skin. One of her eyes appears to be feline, and her fingers and hands resemble like cat paws with opposable thumbs. It's
Oh.
very strange.
I point at Branwyn. I'm like, "Well, you can understand."
Huh, yes. Hi, we were just passing through, really. We saw the gate open and all the smoke, and we were wondering what happened here.
She kind of just thinks for a moment. There's a lot of screaming, and a lot of fire, and then it got quiet, and now it's been quiet.
But nothing
I-
came up here.
No, not anytime soon.
I look very puzzled at Essie.
There you go. Kelma says in undercommon. And he's like, "Oh, is this safe for us? Can we come inside if there's danger outside? We mean no harm."
Kind of looks at you and just curiously concerned, looks over your entire group. Esmeralda, at this point, having heard you try and parlay with these things, just kind of walks up and shouts out, "Zig! Let me the fuck in, will you? The female just kind of looks over your shoulder to Esmeralda and says, "Oh, hey, it's Ez! Look at that, Otto, it's Ez!" And you see
Campbell looks at Esmeralda. He's like,
smiling.
"Did you know the one on the road too?"
She's like, "No, I don't know everyone."
Just the ones that could have saved us some trouble.
And I kind of guide as Esmeralda to the front. I'm like, well, lead away.
And she kind of walks forward, kind of pushes past a little bit, shoulders past as much as she can. And she just kind of gets up to the front, looks over, and talks to the little one, or the female one, and just, I need to be let back in. See, when I left here the last time, I left some things behind. Gotta grab my stuff. Gotta have a talk with the abbot real quick, if you will. Zig is just kind of gonna put her hand on her hip. Well, he did say he wanted more visitors. All right. And she kind of like walks up and unlocks the iron gate in front and kind of swings it open. As it swings open, it squeals and creaks, just this nasty sound, like needs WD-40 like 5 years ago. Like it's rough. But the gate nevertheless opens in front of you and leads you into this courtyard. North gate thing, courtyard. That's not where we're at. That's where we're at. As you walk in this area, wow, that's a really bad res photo. We're gonna change that altogether because I've got a better photo. I think. I do. And now we're all a part of the actual map. Can anybody see anything?
The
Oh.
darkness.
You see darkness. Perfect, which means we're on the right map.
It is a
Sweet.
black triangle. Or just triangle. Triangle. What's wrong
Black
with me?
square.
Triangle.
I was
Yep,
gonna say
triangle.
that's a very weird map if it's a triangle.
You are having weird map. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm putting everybody on a weird map.
Darkness.
I told you guys the abbot was mad.
Mm.
Nobody knows. The abbot is mad. Ouch.
Well, I guess it's good that we
The
didn't
abbot's
attack
actually a lich.
I guess it's good we didn't attack the other guy then.
That would have sucked.
That's a no.
Hey.
Insult to injury, eh?
You can see now, Trovic, because you can see.
You can see.
You have eyes, therefore you can see.
That whole thing. Alright, just so that way everybody can see. But control L. Oh yeah, cool. So we got full vision. That's perfect. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, so Zig kind of opens the gate and as kind of pushes her way forward and kind of walks through firstly. As the three of them kind of step back, and Otto's just going to step to the side and then continue to guard the gate after you all step through.
Hell yeah. Oh,
Having his perks,
sorry, I'm good.
getting on top of people. What's your shield buddy doing? There he is.
Yeah.
This massive shield guardian just tromps through this gateway.
I
Just
love
chilling.
it.
It's great, right? As
Some
and
very
Zig
concerned
continue on.
individuals watching it go.
You notice that there is a graveyard with stunted pine trees to the south of you. So like right in this area. It's just a massive set of graveyard right outside this abbey. Seems to be ancient gravestones and headstones of sorts. Yep, and that's that. And so basically you are walking in this direction toward this gate as Esmeralda and the little thing lead the way. Otto is going to shut this gate back and then continue to guard it. So that is the thing. Esmeralda kind of follows silently as Zig is walking at a brisker pace in front of her. Esmeralda kind of looks back over her shoulder towards you, Renwin. Just, well, I don't know why we're here, per se, but if you're going to find anything here, you probably need the abbot to do it. I can get us an audience, so I figured I'd do so. Makes the most logical sense.
Does he like your people?
Well, I was staying here before,
Hmm.
so he at least puts up with me if nothing else. I think we'll be fine.
Good, because we're here because of Ava.
Yeah. I'm really curious as to what you're here for. So that way we can at least keep an eye out.
Wasn't it a blade?
Something hidden behind the sun in the Temple of a Saint.
one.
1 second.
Just to make sure you're all on the same page and understand the
Yeah.
question.
Sword of sunlight hidden behind the sun in the
Oh.
house of a
House of
saint.
Yeah. Blade of light hidden behind the sun in the house of a saint.
Yep. You got it.
Mm.
Okay. As you kind of get to this center area, you see a 15-foot high curtain wall that joins the two wings of the abbey. Behind the wall, no, never mind. You wouldn't see behind the wall because you're not behind the wall. Does that make sense? Oh, wall right here. This wall. Big wall, big gate, big thing. That's not right at all, actually. What a shitty description of everything. That's awful. Alright. So, basically, this gate here houses two large wooden doors. Zig is going to walk up to the doors and kind of beckon you all in this direction. Esmeralda's not stopped walking, so she would have gotten you to about here as the rest of the group kind of ascends forward. Zig is going to open the door and walk through and tell you all to follow. And then once you all get into this courtyard area, Zig is going to tell you all to wait. Because they are
We'll
going
do
to
so.
inform the abbot that you are here. As soon as you all breach this gate and get into this courtyard, you notice that there's a thick fog that covers the floor of the courtyard. And as soon as the door and the gate opened and Zig and you all began walking through, it almost seemed like this fog was trying to like creep out and escape out of this courtyard. You see wooden doors to the north and to the east that lead to the two wings of the abbey. And in the center of the courtyard, there is a stone well that is fitted with a large iron winch, and there's a rope and bucket attached. Along the perimeter of the courtyard area, tucked under what is the overhanging wall, are several stone sheds that have padlocked wooden doors. There are 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. And, yeah. But you are,
Does it look like we can hitch the horses somewhere? Because that's a thing.
I mean, there are any other wooden troughs, I would assume.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that moment where we realize, hang on a minute. When did we dismount? It's fun. Wussies.
We dismount, glitch through the wall, and end up on the roof of the abbey.
Yes.
I apologize. So forward.
Excuse me. Sorry. Wow. You do notice that as you go to hitch toward the troughs, you hear shrieking coming from these buildings, these little sheds, if you will, that are kind of just tucked under. You notice there is another dilapidated-looking mongrel folk of sorts that has 3 red spider eyes on the right side of their face, with the left side of the face looking like it's human, and seems to have a frog's foot in place of their left hand, and a talon crow foot where the right foot should be, is
Yep.
kind of just like moseying around the courtyard over here.
Kelmo just leans over to Esmeralda and just bluntly asks, as he always does, he goes, "What are these?"
They're experiments, for lack of a better word. This
Is he a necromancer?
calls himself a healer. I don't know if he knows the meaning of the term.
And I thought my hearing was fucked.
I kind of nod once. This is what they meant then.
What? Who meant?
There were rumors that the abbot here was mad.
Oh. Well, I have a bad feeling about this, but I suppose we should move forward and look
Hmm.
for a shrine.
Suppose
You know,
so.
when you said that he was mad, this was not the kind of mad I was expecting.
I
mean-
wasn't expecting it either. I've never been.
You expecting him to be angry?
I expected him to be a lunatic.
This seems
Paranoid insanity rather than this.
As you all are having this conversation amongst yourselves, a few moments later, Zig returns into view coming from the door down here and kind of walks back in your direction. He was just finishing up some stuff. The abbot would happily see you now. As Zig kind of points her hand out towards the building to the south and begins to walk in that direction, leading you there.
Well then.
I will move this door toward this. As she kind of walks in.
The big suit of armor following.
Kelmo
The
takes a
armor will
look.
not fit in this building, just a heads up.
Kelmo does a look around.
Punches a hole in the wall.
Yeah, is there anything around, like a symbol or like a crest or anything representing this thing?
There are many crests. Thank you for observing and perceiving and looking. Yes, there are a number of symbols very similar to the symbols that you saw in the Church of St. Andrew.
so a lot of like suns and
Right, it's a lot of suns, a lot of fertility themed symbols. A lot of suns rising. The very distinctive Morning Lord crest can be seen in multiple places in this area.
Early.
I mean, there could be. What do you want, man? You do see a plaque on the wall right before you enter the door. And the plaque bears the abbey's name. It says the Abbey of St. Markovia. And then under the plaque's name, or the name of the abbey itself, appear the words, "May her light cure all illness."
I
Oh. If it's her, then maybe not.
But
Gwenwyn knows no religion.
however, this is very sun themed. And as you all, anybody going in first? Who's going in? Who's not? Esmeralda can go in with you all as well, I guess, if that makes sense. I'm going to put her in the room just for the sake of things. Oh. As you enter this main hallway, the first thing that catches your attention is a gentle sounding music that trickles down almost from above you, played on a single stringed instrument by some unseen master. This entire area is one large 50-foot square room, and it's got a bunch of arched leaded glass windows. There's a large cauldron that sits on an iron rack above a fire in the hearth, and above the fireplace mantle hangs a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun, emblazoned in white. In one corner, there's a wooden staircase that climbs up to the upper level, and in the other corner, a stone staircase that descends into the darkness. You see a long wooden table that stretches through the center of the room, almost nearly the length of the room, and several chairs that surround it. Wooden dishware, golden candelabras are neatly arranged on the table. Standing behind the table itself is a young woman with alabaster skin. She's dressed in a torn and quite soiled red gown, and her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as not to touch her shoulders. She seems lost in her own thoughts. And you also see across the room next to the woman what appears to be a handsome young man in a brown monk's robe. He kind of walks up to her and gently takes her by the hand. And you can see that he's got a painted wooden holy symbol that depicts the sun that seems to be hanging from a chain around his neck. And as he kind of walks over to her and seems to be showing her something or teaching her something, every move he makes, every step he makes is made with the grace of a saint. Just everything about his movement is just flowy and movie. And as you all kind of walk into this room, he kind of finishes doing what he's doing with this woman holding her hand, showing her how to posture herself. He kind of looks over to you all. And, Esmeralda, it's good to see you're back. You brought friends. That's something, isn't it? Esmeralda kind of looks and just nods, like, yeah. I had to leave because he kind of nods. He's like, yeah, it was pretty hairy around here for a little bit. Not up here, of course, but what can I do for you all? You notice this main chamber is extremely Morning Lord themed. The girl seems to be just standing there looking at the abbot.
She hasn't even turned to notice us.
No.
Gaynor kind of turns around, looks at the wall, kind of leans up against it and talks under his breath, don't know if you'd approve of this kind of worship.
You hear a voice kind of suddenly in your head. Well, I mean, she is beautiful, but he is a priest. I don't think any of that's right. Something doesn't seem quite right, though.
Just for kicks, as I turn back around, I kind of wave in the direction And I cast Detect Magic.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of motion everyone forward because I could guess the Gaino's gonna do that in the back.
Yeah, I'm standing next to Branwyn, almost acting like bodyguard, and I'm actually really not looking at the monk. I'm just looking around to see if I see anything.
Okay. Okay.
Ah,
Okay.
good day. We must apologize for the
Not yet.
intrusion, but yeah, I know that's why I'm carrying on forward.
Yeah, I'm just
But
following behind.
we were wondering if you could perhaps help us find something.
Well, you've come to my abbey. Most that come to my abbey and seeking what they find receive the help that they need. So I don't see what the problem would be, as long as you're vouched for. Normally, being let into the town would be enough to vouch for you, but, well, you see kind of like a slightly somber but not really upset look kind of come over his face.
Hmm.
Oh.
That look.
Well, if you're with Esmeralda, I suppose helping you shouldn't be too much harm. And you hear something. Comes from almost what appears to be upstairs, and it almost sounds like it's coming from a hallway in the distance, like it's muffled. But you can hear what appear to be wails and screams coming from a far distance, similar to the ones that you heard when you were coming in from the cages themselves, or the chicken coops themselves. They're not really chicken coops; they're like closets. Chicken closets. We're gonna call them chicken closets. But yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Don't like it, but I'm ignoring it. I really don't like it.
Yeah, Kelmo's just looking around to see if he sees anything. It really that's all he's been doing this entire time. Is just kind of keeping an eye out.
Okay, absolutely. So I would say you notice a number of things in this room, just expensive candelabras, well off this. It's decently well furnished for a meager abbot. The thing that draws your eye more than anything, though, is the disc-shaped sun that is above the fireplace, and it is one of the only like there are a number of symbols to the Morning Lord, like across here, a trinket there or something like that. This is very much like almost like a golden shield with like the Morning Lord's symbol emblazoned on it in almost like a white marble. Like it's whatever this is ornate enough to be like significantly unique, and that just seems to keep catching your eye.
Hmm.
More so than anything else in this room. I mean, there's also this extremely pale looking chick who's wearing a red gown that looks to be kind of messed up and dirty. She's just kind of like standing in the center of the room. Just kind of looks over you all.
Theodore walks up, and he's kind of like, so there seems to be a lot of destruction down the hill. And nothing up here. Did you not get involved with what happened?
Kind of looks at you. He's like, I stay up here to protect what I have up here. It's complicated. I try not to cause any trouble, and trouble tries not to find me. Oh no, who died?
There's.
Wicked.
I'm not entirely sure. Oh,
Wicked. Oh. Wicked, come back.
He
in
might have
peace.
lost internet or something because he's up completely offline.
Oh god.
Full cut.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay. Oh,
Oh, Wicked just ceases to exist. momentarily.
No, I'll recap him in a second. But this abbot is just kind of like it's hard to get a read on him.
Mm.
He's very lookout for himself, though. That
Mm.
much is quite clear.
Am I sensing anything now that I'm like near the wall and stuff?
That's a good question. Are you sensing anything? Google. Say. 5E. If something's attacks are magical, is it considered magical?
Yeah.
Is it an item that's attacking, or is it a person?
No, it's a creature. Creatures attacks are considered magical. A creature's not magical, though, right?
No.
Creature's not magical, but his
No.
attack is correct.
Okay.
Now, if it has something ready, like as if it is preparing magic, I would sense that.
No.
There he is.
So,
sorry, let me look up one more thing. I apologize.
yeah. So
I got you. I just
you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creatures or objects that bear magic. You learn the school of magic. So if they're doing something that's magical, I would sense it.
Oh, perfect. So you would sense magic coming off of the abbot himself. The magic.
Itself.
Himself.
Himself, yeah. He himself is doing magic.
Yes.
Or is capable of doing so.
Yeah, the abbot's just actually like a mind flayer.
I mean,
That's actually not even funny because it's really kind of, it could totally be true.
Yeah.
the man who doesn't know anything about the abbot's putting bad ideas in a DM's head. Continue.
Yeah.
The abbot now going to kind of look at you all. So, if I help you find something, if I can help, if I'm able to, would you be able to help me with something?
That would quite depend.
Well, I also need to know what you want to find, so I guess that answer goes both ways, doesn't it?
Indeed.
As he kind of like looks over this girl once again and just kind of like puts his hand up to her cheek and kind of like looks at something on her face and inspects her for a moment and then kind of looks back to you and just, yeah. I suppose we go with your request first, and then I'll give you mine. And we'll see if our trade might be worth something.
Well, you see, we were
As
sent
can
here.
tell you, nothing's free.
Oh, of that we are most definitely aware. But you see, we were sent here with almost a riddle, you could say, in search of some sort of blade of light.
You
I'm
notice a little bit
watching
of
his
shift
reaction.
Yeah, you notice a little bit of shift on his face. It's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes. You're more than welcome to search. There is, to the best of my knowledge, no weapon that matches that description here. What is
Well,
your riddle?
that we were told it would be hidden behind the sun in. Oh my god, I want the wording.
In the house
The
of a
house
saint.
of a saint.
Yeah.
Yes.
Almost steps forward. Still staring at the big sheet.
You see the abbot just kind of like pondering this for a moment. And it does look like he's actually trying to like figure out the riddle, like he's genuinely curious. Make a perception check for me, Nim, since you're staring at the guy.
Oh yeah.
Doing the thing.
I'm staring at the guy and do my best to be seductive because I can see that he likes women. Or at least one
Sorry.
particular woman that semi matches her description.
Yes. I mean,
Wicked.
you're semi dead.
Yeah.
Just the way he likes it.
Oh,
Oh yes.
oh, there you go.
Oh no!
um. So you quickly gather from your good read of people that he's not being untruthful with you. To the best of his knowledge, there's no weapon like that here. However, you notice that he did twitch, and his body language is shifting almost like he's uncomfortable that a weapon like that would be here and him not know about it.
Oh. Oh. What to do with that information?
Come on, guys.
I will give you all one second. I will give you all this at this point. Everybody's close enough. You're all in the room at this point, but the three close enough would see that this woman in a red gown with brunette hair bears a striking resemblance to someone you know.
Oh, come on. Of course. Oh no. Is he?
It's
Oh
not
no.
nearly as exact, but it does remind you at a quick glance of some version of Irina.
Like, we know it's not Irina, right? It just looks like her.
Yes, you're
Saying?
certain it's
Okay.
not.
It's another person fascinated.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it's good that Irina was not with us.
Yeah.
I was literally about to say that.
Oh, are we sure? Because that could have gone two ways. But yes, carry on.
Sorry, but yes, so you notice that he's more concerned that there might be a weapon like that here that he's unaware of, rather than concerned that he knows where it is and he's hiding it from you, type thing. But carry on. You said you were moving Kilma, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna move next to Gaynor, and I was just gonna kind of give Gaynor kind of like a little, like nudge in his side, and kind of see guide his eyes up to the shield that I was staring at.
That's a interesting symbol object up there.
He kind of looks up, he's like, it's been here. It's been here since I've been here.
How high is it? Is it like towards the ground, or is it like?
Like, if you have a fireplace, it's like right above the fireplace.
So it's just within reachable
Yeah, I mean, it's
distance.
like,
Yes, especially someone like me, I could get
it's
to
like
like
mantelpiece, like height.
It's
Yeah.
like 5
It's
feet,
above the mantle, if that makes
6
sense.
feet.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we have a look at it?
Kind of looks around at the group. He's like, depends. If you find what you're looking for, would you care to help me with my endeavor?
Perhaps we should hear what you would like of us first.
You know what we want. What do you
Sure.
want?
I've been working on this project for some time now. And I find that we need a dress to really pull everything together. He kind of looks over at this woman in the red dress, with the soiled red dress. He's like, see, this just won't do. It needs to be something worthy, something regal, something white. It needs to be white. Could you help me find?
Did we?
I'm
Do you
gonna
want me to
go
find a
ahead and
dress?
check my inventory real quick.
Did we take the dresses?
I
Did we
thi-
take
but-
all of the
Yeah,
dresses?
Nim took the dresses.
Well, I have a dress, and
You
I
took
think
'em,
Nim
yeah.
has a
I
dress.
took a dress.
And I took a dress.
Did you
How
take
many
a dress?
dresses? How many dresses were in there? Because I took a dress, Nim took a dress.
4,
It
5.
was a chest of dresses, and depending
Yeah.
on the side of the dress, it
Yeah.
could be anywhere from like 3 to
Yeah,
5 or
chest,
6.
6 dresses. You had 6 dresses. I
Yeah.
don't know if you took all 6.
I mean,
remember you
there's no
took
reason why we
I
wouldn't
mean-
have.
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you took all 6. But regardless, you do have fancy-ish dresses.
I have a chest.
Let's do you know what? Let's figure it out. Even. That works. Okay, so as you all are recalling back, you do recall that there was at least one white dress in the stash of dresses that you had, all of which were fancy, elegant style dresses. And it looks over, he's like,
I can't believe that we've solved this already.
he
Yeah.
kind of looks over and it's just like, yeah, the, there's something about it. It's just, it's got to work. And if it's not perfect, it's not going to work. And if it doesn't work, we're all screwed anyway. You mind helping?
What do you mean we're all screwed?
It looks like, so you know why this whole place is in the shit, right? Like the guy that's making everybody's life miserable.
Yes.
This can fix that.
Kamal takes a
I
really
I
big
am
sigh.
not. I'm not sure this will do what you intend.
Wait. So you're trying to make an Irina?
Tatiana, I believe.
Or
1 second.
It's like shush, all of you were giving people's secrets away and names away and
Stop it.
what?
He kind of looks over at you. He's like,
Let the chick do her thing.
"Who in the hell's Irina?" And I've never heard the name Tatiana, for that matter.
Oh.
This lady is meant to be Vasilka.
Vasilka.
who's Vasilka?
Okay, now we're very confused.
Okay, so we all
Perhaps
know
you could enlighten
Yep.
us.
Yeah,
Well,
let's work out together what you're trying to do here.
I think we're all thinking of different things.
He kind of looks at you while he's like, well, "Clearly we are. I'm trying to make a bride for him."
And why would that solve any of the problem?
Because if he has his woman, we all go home.
So you subscribe to that theory. Good to know.
Yeah, I think that's a very small picture about what's going on here.
For
He's
one,
trapped here. He's trapped here by whatever the hell's in that temple up there on the mountain. If
Wait,
he
we
can
were just-
break the seal,
I shushed
We
Taylor
all
as
go
he
home.
was supposed to say that.
What seal?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
he kind of just looks at you. He's like, every dark power up in that damn place comes with a curse, a fulfillment, a final piece to it, a way to end it.
Mhm.
Strahd got his powers for that girl that he loved, whatever her name was.
Tatiana.
Tatiana, Anastasia, Vasilka, Irina, whatever you call her. whichever one this is. They're all the same. If he can marry one, he completes the pact that he made.
Okay, but if you're just making one, how does that complete the pact? It's not going to be the real thing.
It doesn't have the same soul.
Kind of just looks you up and down, just baffled. He's like,
I mean, at this rate, if it doesn't work, you're just going to piss him off more.
Precisely.
He's making this argument extremely boldly. Like, even though you've made these counterpoints, he just blindly steers through that argument. Like,
Basically, he made his point, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
right,
He's
gonna
stuck
work.
in his
This is
way.
my play, and this is where I'm at,
Okay.
and I need to do this. But he will further go on to explain that more misunderstood than bad, and suffering just like the rest of us.
I mean,
as-
we're not arguing that
No,
that
I'm
giving him the
just letting
thing.
you know what he's
Yeah.
continuing
Cool.
on about it.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to my horse and look to see if I have a white dress.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna look at my backpack to see if the one dress I have is the white dress.
Gaenor's going to walk up to the table and just sit down with his head down.
Sit down with your head down.
I'm
with your
just
head down.
basically gonna say to him, "Give us a minute."
And roughly enough, one of the dresses was indeed a white dress.
I can't believe we brought the dresses
Fuck
with
my
us.
life.
No dress.
Of all of the things,
Congratulations, main quest complete.
of all of the loot we took from that place,
Yeah.
He kind of looks at you all, and as you come back in with the dress, he kind of looks toward Branwyn and to a lesser extent Esmeralda, and he's just kind of like, would you mind helping me, like motions toward this semi-immovable female. Just gotta make sure it fits, and you kind of get.
yeah. I
Yeah.
chew everyone.
Mhm.
I mean, there has to be a room you can. We don't have to shoot this. Or should that
I mean, I'm
immobile?
sure there is a room, yeah, easily enough.
Okay,
But-
you said she was
yeah.
immovable, so
I mean, she is standing there immovable until
okay, I'm
mentioned-
gonna take her arm then.
Yeah.
I point to the shield. I go, can we move that now?
be my guest.
So I guess I just hop up there and hop up there and I just start I kind of glance at Gaynor like,
Okay. Gaynor, you are sensing no magic as Kelma jumps up to lift and move this shield. Kelma, as you lift this thing up, this thing is made of solid lead. This thing is heavier than sin.
Oh,
It is a bracer-sized shield that is
detect magic can't go through lead.
buckler-sized shield that is made of heavy lead.
Mm-hmm.
I yell out to good old Trevor. I go, my friend.
I mean, you can move
I
it.
can lift. Oh, okay. You were saying there's this lead. I was thinking.
No, I
like,
think it's
having
made
a-
of like solid lead. It is
okay. I was
shield.
about to say-
You're not
Listen.
gonna pick it up and start playing frisbee with it.
Yeah, well,
I would love to see that though.
But as you get it up, you begin to like slide it out of the way and move it out of the way. Gaynor, you immediately your detect magic goes off, and you just sense two items in what appear to be a small alcove behind this shield. As soon as you
I look in and I guess I go to reach in for the things.
absolutely.
And Gaynor just perks up.
You lose your hand.
Yeah, I know. Come on, evaporates.
It's an orb of annihilation.
Inside, in this small little niche, in this cubby.
Stop giving me DM ideas.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're just loading me up, man. Like, next campaign is going to be real rough for whoever
Happily.
survives to get to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see a small, what appears to be like a crystalline electrum flask that has this deep red liquid in it. It's decent sized. And then you see what appears to be the hilt of a sword of some sort. Decently ornate.
Ooh.
Okay. Does the abbot see me? Like see what's in there? Like is he blocked?
I would
Yeah,
say at this point he's off with Branwyn and Ez
Oh,
trying to
okay.
do this thing, right? Because
Okay.
that's the events was. It was sure, go for it, be my guest. And he kind of like walked away with the dress and the girl and
Okay.
the Branwyn. And
I just wanted to make sure that he didn't see me have like a sword hilt. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, I mean that's fair.
So I'm like, I grab.
Make a sleight of hand
What?
check just to be on the safe side. Just 'cause
What did we
he's
say?
out of the room. We'll make a roll for
Get
it.
the sword, save the world.
Jesus Christ.
Ah,
Oh my goodness.
Ugh.
Alright, well, I'm gonna roll
Almost
this.
The
18.
dice, no.
The dice. No.
The dice now.
Oh,
let's see.
Good.
what spells.
So he is very happy about this dress.
Mhm.
Not paying attention to you all moving this large lead shield
wonderful.
off of
Good.
the wall as you
Good.
pop what appears to be the hilt of a blade that seems to be cleanly broken. Unlike the hilt that Osgood found in that random village that has part like a
Uh,
eighth of the blade on it, this is clean.
Gotcha. So it's
Um,
just a hilt, no blade, basically.
There's just
Oh,
a hilt.
it's a lightsaber.
I'm in. I'm in.
It is a light sword. So
We're about to find out, I think.
You're about to find out.
yeah, I hop down and I kind of whisper to Gainar. I'm like, I hand him the flask, and I say, I was like, found this hilt. Might be what we're looking. I'm gonna hide it right now. Make sure he doesn't see. Maybe it might be a good play to pretend that we didn't find anything.
Sure. So you handed me the flask, and you're hiding the sword.
Yeah, I basically put the sword in my backpack and I handed you the flask
Okay.
because I figured we split the stuff. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, I
Sure.
don't think he has any interest in it, but okay. I
Well-
take the flask and I shrug.
Yeah.
And you now have in your possession, Gaynor, this round, almost fist size, maybe a little larger, viscous red liquid inside this round crystalline electrum made flask.
Okay. While they're doing their thing, I'll put it on the table and I'll start my ritual to identify it. Let's see.
I'll
Do you have 10 minutes before they come back with the dress with Silka? That's the question.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
probably gonna talk and shit, right?
Wow,
Hey,
that's assumptions.
wow. Girl
I
talk,
no, it's fine.
Jesus. No. I mean, you can always attempt to identify for sure. I'm gonna stop you.
Yeah, sure. If we have to go before the 10 minutes is up, I mean, hey, you know.
yeah I'll have the
Yeah, I was
the
about
hilt
to
of
say, it takes about 6 or 7 minutes, but they come out before you finish the ritual.
It's fine. I'm just gonna keep going.
Nice.
6 7 minutes, not bad. So I got 3
Okay.
minutes to figure out what's going
I'll
on.
have the. I mean, when he's doing the identify, does he have to do 10 minutes for each one, or does he have to have both at the same time?
For each one.
Oh.
Right, but I have something that's gonna help me identify the other faster. So don't worry
Oh,
about
okay.
He's trying to identify this potion. Let's see if the abbot notices you've now found a potion somewhere. It's sitting on the table. Abbot's pretty dumb.
I
It's
mean, he's not exactly trying to hide it. He's casting magic on it on like his
True.
dining
There's
table.
I have a glowing bracelet as I'm touching this thing. So
Yeah, this is true. You make a good point. He's just kind of going to look down at the table at you. It's like, well, the hell did you find?
When I'm ritualing, so someone else is going to talk to us.
A bottle of cranberry juice.
Oh, I've seen him do this before. He doesn't know what it
Chuckles.
is yet. He's seeing what it is.
And he just kind of looks over. He's like, that was behind the shield. I never would have moved the damn thing. It's too heavy for me. Suppose finders keepers.
Seems like a good.
Actual use. Like he kind of gets a sly grin on his face and he kind of perks up, looking over at Gaynor, almost expectantly waiting for this ritual to finish. As Esmeralda, Branwen, and Vasilka enter the room again with the abbot. Vasilka now in this, or the girl now in this white dress. It's a little short, but it's passable. It's not like you had a private tailor to do anything with it, but it
And it means he won't collect the mud on the way anywhere.
It's true. Always with your smart asses this. But you're not wrong.
I probably would have told him that. I am the fashion savvy noble.
It's true. That being said, the dress and all works for the most part. As you were helping her get into this dress, Branwen, you would have noticed, and Esmeralda would have noticed. This is not a person.
Oh.
Noticed that, but this is a bunch of people.
Oh.
This is a lot of bits of people sewn together.
Oh, this is
A
Frankenstein.
flesh golem.
Great.
Kind of.
Great.
You,
We are dealing with
as you
Dr.
get close
Frankenstein.
enough, you can kind of see the seams.
I am saying absolutely nothing.
Her skin's very powdered, like it's very covered, makeuped over, but it to a discerning eye, you can see something's not right here. But you say nothing. As Esmeralda kind of looks at you and also says nothing. You take your 10 minutes to identify, and what is in front of you
It
is
is in front of me.
a superior healing potion.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Red liquid
Oh
you
man.
identified decently well, but you didn't know exactly what it was. It's much darker red than your normal healing potion. Sitting around for over a century.
It's
Knowing-
matured.
Knowing how many times Kalma has been knocked out, I just hand it to him. Like, here,
I call the empty bottle when it's done.
healing potion.
and I look at it, and go, I shrug, and I'm like, I just put it on there, and I go, and I kind of go like, did we do the thing too? Because I kind of like, I'll have the hilt hidden-ish,
Um,
or should we wait until we're alone?
I mean, like, do you think he'll care?
Maybe not. I kind of put just the hilt.
He's
there,
right
so-
there.
At this
So
point,
say
he
if
said
you
whatever
pull
you
it out,
found.
he's- Yeah, so
Yeah, it's the finder's keeper side. I just put the hilt on the thing so Gaynor could do his
Sure.
wiggly wiggly.
Being able to see it now, I pull out my
you see,
Libra of identification and start drawing it in.
as you put the hilt
Or
down,
writing it.
he kind of looks over at it, and he pays a little more attention to that than he did the potion. Okay, you do the Librum, and you begin to write in the description of the blade itself, the hilt. Moments go by, and the page starts to fill itself out. The script stops becoming your own, and all of the relevant information for the Sunblade is now given to you.
Hmm.
So you've got the little weapon sheet already, but just for funsies, we'll read it to the class. It appears to be a longsword hilt. While grasping the hilt, you can use a bonus action to cause the blade of pure radiance to spring into existence or make the blade disappear. The bonus word or the action word is determined by the wielder
Mm-hmm.
at the time of attunement. While the blade exists, the magic longsword has the finesse property. And if you are proficient with short swords or long swords, you are proficient with the sunblade. You gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with the weapon, which deals radiant damage instead of slashing damage. When you hit an undead with it, the target takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. That's something fun, always. The sword is a luminous blade that emits a bright light in a 15-foot radius and a dim light for an additional 15 feet.
Sunlight.
Light is sunlight for the purposes of light. You can use an action to expand or reduce the radius by 5 feet while the blade persists, up to a maximum of 30 or a minimum of 10. Is that the right thing? That is not the right thing.
Right thing?
Call
Right.
me Luke.
Yeah.
Really? What a bitch. Huh. How is that not the right thing?
Is it a sun sword?
Some sort of some blade.
Sunblade.
It's a sun blade, but
Okay.
no, it's a sun sword. No, it's a sun
Oh.
sword. I apologize. I am absolutely wrong.
Oh, okay.
It is a sun sword. I am so
Yeah,
sorry.
you read the wrong thing. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll take it out of my equipment.
Yeah,
I was like,
Add sunblade to your equipment. I apologize.
okay, hold on.
Of course, now I'm going to find this damn thing because it's going to piss me off. I'll read it from here. It's fine. I apologize. The sun sword is a unique blade once possessed by Strahd's brother, Sergei von Zarovich. In its original form, it had a platinum hilt and guard and a thin crystal blade as strong as steel. Yada yada yada. Fun stuff. Sun sword is sentient. It is a thing. I need to find sun sword.
I just posted the.
It's sentient. It has an ego?
It does, yeah.
Some sentient, chaotic, good weapon with an intelligence of 11.
Wisdom of
Kazan!
17 plus
The
16.
sword is literally as smart as me.
Uh-huh. Wow, that's so dumb. That's officially the dumbest thing I've seen.
What?
The damn online material doesn't have the sun sword.
Really?
That's fucking stupid. Anyway,
Anyway.
back to this. So, quick intelligence and insight and identify gives you all this information anyway.
Wiser than me.
Kazan was supposed to destroy the weapon, and he didn't properly destroy the weapon because he separated the blade and the hilt. But he tried to destroy the blade, and his apprentice disappeared with the hilt, so the hilt survived. The hilt is sentient and knows it can never be reunited with the crystal blade, but it has gained the properties of a sun blade. So it has all the properties of a sun blade, plus it is sentient. Chaotic good item.
Very angry.
Its special purpose is to destroy Strahd, not so much because it wants to free the land of Barovia from evil, but because it wants revenge. Yada yada. Yeah, so basically,
Okay.
it is a sentient sun sword. Or
Yeah.
sunblade. So sunblade is right, you can add that to your inventory, but sun sword is the technical term.
Okay.
Of course, them not having an issue of the sun sword is fucking lame.
Yeah, that's weird that they don't have that.
Bothers the shit out of me.
So we basically add the sunblade, but know that the sun sword is sentient. We know that
Well,
it's
no,
sentient.
on
But you can
D&D
add
Beyond.
sun sword, it's an item on D&D Beyond. It's just not an item in the Roll20 packet.
Yeah, because if you look in the chat right now, I literally just put the description up.
Right, yeah. Alright, well...
That's strange, though. Anyway, gotcha. Okay. Sun sword, yeah. But...
Out of curiosity, I pick it up off the table.
Absolutely. You're holding a hilt. It requires attunement.
So who do we have that's good with a longsword?
I can never remember if longswords are martial weapons. Are they?
If you are proficient with a short sword, you are proficient with this.
Correct, yeah, because it has
Yeah.
finesse.
Because it's finesse, and well, I know I could use it. I'm a
Finesse
finesse guy.
You are proficient with this weapon if
I,
yada yada. If you're proficient with short swords or long swords, you're proficient with this weapon.
so
It's a finesse weapon for you if you wield it.
I think
So
that's
all of our
all of
melee
us.
is all of the melee, I believe. Yeah.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. Like those are the properties of
Aren't-
Sunblades and Sword, etc.
Aren't you proficient with the sword?
Well,
Over?
I am not. No,
Nope.
because
Oh.
I'm not proficient with the short.
He's Swordlock.
Yeah, I don't know why my brain said you have a short. I'm sure you use a short sword.
No, I use a dagger.
No.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're a dagger guy, right?
Uh-huh. So
Everyone
I
except
guess
over.
I mean like it's a sun sword. So and who doesn't have a weapon that's special? I just hand it to Kelma. I'm like, it'll probably make you feel things.
Feel things.
Yeah, I mean like
Bad
you
things.
both got a lot in common.
Hmm.
And like, Kelma looks visibly confused because you just hand him a hilt of a sword and say you guys have something both in common. And he's just like, okay. He just kind of holds on to the hilt real extra tight. He's just like, hey, you confuse me, mage. I trust you. You confuse me.
Uh-huh. Fair. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I gotta do this thing real quick, and then we're done. We're good. This is just gonna hurt me.
Handed someone a hilt of a sword, like, hey, you have the same personality. Like, what the hell?
Pretty much, yeah.
You have the
Just-
personality of a fucking missing sword hilt.
I have a missing sword. Here you go.
That's the better design of it. Sorry. Apologies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like saying you have the personality
It's
of
more
wet
jaggedy
cardboard.
than.
Yeah, but
So now our monk is a Jedi. Cool.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Okay.
our monk is a
Essentially.
Jedi.
yo, that is true. I just put that together.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I
say
am.
Jedi.
I am literally a Jedi now.
Oh my god. What
As
have I
soon as you attune to that thing. Yes.
Yep.
It's going to take you about an hour to attend to it.
This would be
As you
great.
clench this hilt in your hand and focus on it really hard, nothing happens. But Gaynor kind of nudges you on the shoulder. It's like, kind of got to spend some time with it and focus on it for a bit. And
More training you need.
more training. Ready for the dark arts you are not. But you have the
I do the whole Luke Skywalker thing. I look at the hilt and the sword. At the sword end. It's like, what does this do?
you immediately feel somewhere down in the pit of your chest. Well, actually, I would say you probably need to attune to it first. We'll
Yeah,
deal with that.
we haven't had a time to
Yeah.
That's
attune or
fine.
anything.
I'll get that when you attune. However, that being said, as you're focusing on this handle and nothing's really happening, and you're just kind of looking across the room, you hear screams of pain and wails coming from the distance, seeming to be from the staircase going upward that seems to cross to what appears to be, you can only assume based on logic and physics, would be the other abbey, or the other wing of the abbey, if that makes sense. You
Right.
just hear screams and wails, much like you've heard before. As the abbot just kind of looks over, he's like, oh, I need to go check on something. And he kind of walks towards the stone staircase downward. He gets about down to here, and he shouts down, Cloven, it's about that time, my friend. He kind of walks back up. He kind of walks back over and stands near Vasilka. She looks just about perfect now. It's going to take a couple more spells to fix this whole thing up, and should be ready for the Dark Lord's arrival at any time.
Man.
Whenever he decides to show up.
Gaynor.
Well, I think we've done all the searching we can do.
Yes. I would wish you luck, but you've heard our arguments.
Looks over, he's like, well, I I do appreciate your help. I'm sure the Morning Lord will look fondly on you all for assisting one of his children. It's greatly appreciated. And
Vague hint of like a smirk on Osgood's face, but he doesn't say anything. He kind of turns away.
mhm, fair enough.
Sure, he'll look favorably on something around here.
And then you hear the bell once more going off as it slowly, mournfully, much louder now that you're up here, of course. But again, from the other side of the abbey, begins to go off and ring, and it chimes 8 times slowly. And you hear more screams and howls. But these don't sound like they're in pain.
Kinda
So
like
much as they
pack howling.
sound happy.
Oh.
They're into that.
Mm.
Hmm.
It's a
Anybody
spell
else want
called
to
Toll
take
the Dead.
I start working my way towards the door.
Same.
Yep.
Alright,
Time to
Good.
go.
alright, uh-huh.
Yep.
Run for your life.
Yep.
Just
Leave
outta here.
before there's a vampire. Leave before there's a vampire.
Mhm.
We run.
Oh my
We flee.
goodness. Alright, and as you all get back out into the
Not that we can actually leave the door.
There's a giant thing in the way.
Christ.
We're like squeezing by this giant thing.
I just roll out from underneath it.
He kind of looks you over and he's like, the abbot, as you're kind of backing out the room, he's like, "Oh, thank you very much for your help. As always," he kind of points toward Esmeralda. He's like, "If you or any of you," and he kind of fans over to the rest of the group, "need any accommodations or anything, there are always rooms here."
Yep.
Uh,
We'll keep that
Yeah, I
in
think
mind in the
we're
future.
definitely. Yeah, I think we're gonna start making our way back, and
Yeah, we have somewhere that we need to be fairly
Yeah.
urgently.
Camel's already on a horse.
And the last walkings out the door, he's like, "Be careful now. I hear down at the bottom of the hills, somewhat dangerous." It is nighttime at this point, by the way.
Ah, shit.
Just a head. It's getting darkish.
Le-
It was getting dark when you were climbing the hill, but
right,
it's
yeah.
dark.
Shit.
So it's probably about 8 o'clock.
You want to camp in the
And
gate?
as you step out back into this courtyard, you see another different, weirdly disfigured mongrel folk. Cloven. Where's Cloven? There's Cloven. I don't even have a description. That's so sad. He's another disformed, malshapen, chimera-esque humanoid creature, if that makes sense. And seems to be dragging large sacks behind him as he kind of walks up in this direction. Sorry. And then into this door. And shuts the door behind. But yes, it is nighttimey, dark, and it is kind of cold up here on this outcropping. But you're in this walled-in area, and you hear loud scratching and growling kind of coming from all these boxes. I don't know, it sounds like yelping and like hungry sounds. Very sad.
Do you think we should leave, or I don't like it here, but it might be safer.
Camel gets off his horse, And he's like visibly looks pissed off at this point. He starts walking back towards the door. I want to go home. And he walks back inside.
I take that as Kalma wants to stay.
I think we all want to go home, mate.
Esmeralda kind of catches up to Gaynor a little bit and just, as long as they don't get out, I think we should be all right.
Mm.
You've got the
Okay.
doctor in there.
Oh, I walk
Make
my
sure-
way back in.
Make
And
sure you
I'm
keep an
kinda
eye on
like-
yourself.
Do you
And
know
I
what
ca-
those things are?
As she kind of looks over at Osgood, she's like, more of the same?
Undead?
Zig's not the only one of them. Zig and Otto ain't two
Fair
of a
enough.
kind.
His grip tightens on his holster.
You all make your way back into the Abbey. Into this main room. The Abbey kind of looks at you all. Oh,
I think we've changed our mind.
thought
I
you
thought we were
might.
gonna camp.
We lost track of time slightly and didn't realize it had gotten
Oh.
quite as dark.
Great.
He kind of looks you over once more. He's like, well, there's always the guest room, but I think there's probably too many of you to fill it out. And Esmeralda kind of looks over at Josh. She's like, yeah, no, I barely fit in there. All of us can happen.
Mind if we set up a campsite inside your walls somewhere?
Yeah,
Looks
we're
stranger
perfectly
place.
accustomed to sleeping outside.
Kamal just sits in this little corner right under here. He goes, how about we just set up camp right here in an open area?
Or we can camp in the dining room.
Jeez.
Never look at you all. If you'd like, you can set your stuff outside. Inside the wall, of course, but I would have to ask you to make camp outside, please.
Reasonable.
You mean we can't sleep on your table?
Okay, yeah. We're leaving now.
Yes.
We all camp in his bedroom.
Kind of like staring at. Easily enough. You set up your campfire. You set up your tents. You
There's a
set up
nice little corner over here.
Yeah, right here. I like this
every little
corner.
area.
Oh, there we
It's a nice little area where we can look out, and it's slightly enclosed.
We'll name it Jerry.
And as you get over to this area and set up your fire, you kind of take a better look at your surroundings. As you're going to be here for the foreseeable next long rest. God, that's so bad that that's a measure of time now. You're going to be here for the next foreseeable 8 hours. You kind of look out and you notice that there are a number of what appear to be soldiers kind of like standing atop the walls that you really didn't pay much attention to the first time when you came in. As you take a closer look, it seems to be suits of armor fitted on scarecrows.
Oh no!
Dude.
Just a little
Oh,
concerned.
no!
How
Think
many?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Bruh.
At least 16 scattered around the wall in the outer interior of the top wall.
Probably best we don't piss anybody off.
They
Yeah.
seem to be staring outward. Gaynor, since you had some fun close-up interaction with the scarecrows of Ye and Old, make a perception check for me.
Sure. Badoop.
What you got?
Oh,
Bad.
God.
6.
So these are indeed scarecrows.
Cool. They're scarecrows.
And you're not sure if they are similar or dissimilar to the ones that almost slit your throat about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, you set up a small campfire with the shield guardian kind of blocking you all in with your horses near this fire, and are trying to cut the wind off as much as possible. you all still being able to see out. And we are going to end our session here, as you are tucked away in a small alcove in the corner of the Amber Temple. Having now received the third of the 3 legendary items that Madame Ava suggested to you and your group to potentially find, and having found your favorite ally in a very jilted and somewhat on edge Esmeralda. That being said, the cold of the crisp Barovian night and the wind begins to cut at you as a decently thick snow begins to fall.
Oh boy.
That's where we're going to pick up next week. All right.
Woohoo.
So, Jake, I'm
Woohoo.
tossing it back to you, big guy.
All right. I just want to thank again everybody for coming on through. Really appreciate everyone coming on through. Just to give everyone a notice, because MTC, we forgot to mention this.
I did. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
bad.
there's not. That we're gonna have another Sunday stream next Sunday on 3 p.m. But more than likely on the 17th, there's not going to be a session, and but make sure you follow the
I haven't told anybody, so.
yeah. What you called I was gonna say. But thanks everyone for coming on through. We truly do appreciate your support. Again, if you wanted to check out the One Shot Tavern and watch any of the other past episodes, you're more than welcome to. There's a link to the One Shot Tavern. It should appear on both the Twitch and YouTube side right about now. But we'll see you next week at 3 p.m. Eastern for episode 27 of Curse of Strahd. Take care, all.